through before all the action kicks off. But before we do, let's go and join the two captains out in the middle for the toss.
Now then, it really is the business end of the competition. There are playoff positions up for grabs here. We got the Lions versus the Kings. And alongside me, Sandeep Lamachani, the captain of the Biratnagar Kings, and from the Lumbini Lions, it's Rohit Powdell. And of course, our match referee, the former Delhi opening batsman, Mr. Manu Nair. Right, Chunky, up you come. Hasn't gained much pace over the course of the few weeks. Sandeep from the Kings is the home captain. Up it goes. Tails is the call. Tails is the call. It is a tail. Rohit, you've won the toss. What are you going to do first and why?
We'll bowl first. The last game we played here was against Pokhara, and I think we did really well chasing. So yeah, wicket looks same, and we'll love to chase.
You haven't quite, when I say hit your straps yet, you haven't had bad games. You've been just a little bit inconsistent, don't you feel?
Yeah, I feel the same. I think we have not shown the best game which we can, and I think today's the game which will show as a collectively the best game of our Lions, and we are looking forward for today's game.
What about changes to your side?
Yes, we have one change. Gulbuddin goes out, and in place of him we have JJ Smith.
All right, just one last question. I didn't want to ask it, but I'm going to. Is it now must-win time for the Lions?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's
covered from all those push-ups the other day.
That's very nice of you. I mean, like, no, that was just a normal celebration. You know, I always, I literally posted, I need to learn how to do proper push-ups as well. But, we love Sompal the way he's been carrying national team for a long time. Yeah. So yeah, it was just a gesture for him.
And just a word on Bashir Ahmed. I mean, you've got a lot of experienced players in your side, some overseas professionals. Nice that a young man from Nepal comes through and produces a performance like that.
Of course, that shows the strength we have in Nepal, and someone like Bashir. Not only Bashir, but there are a lot of amazing talent in Nepal. So yeah, I mean, Bashir, he did something which was required for a long time from him and for the team, for the success of this team. And that's why we call it a very beautiful game. And every day, there would be a new, different soldier that will fight for his team.
Now the airport here has been very busy over the last few days. Have you got some changes to your side that we're excited about?
Of course, the man himself is here. So yeah, we've got one change. Shahan, unfortunately, he's been missing out today, and in place of him, Faf is coming.
Brilliant. All right. All the best for today, Sandeep. Thank you very much for your time. So the news from the middle. It's the Lions. They've won the toss. They're going to bowl first. Right, now we've spoken a little bit about the surface. We've had some new ones. We've had some old ones. None better to run us through this one than Faz the man.
Well, thank you very much, HD. It's always a beautiful time of the evening here in Kathmandu, the TU International Cricket Ground, as we call it. And I'm taking a look at pitch number 7. We've moved from the east of the ground to the very west of the ground. So it's going to be a 61-meter hit that way and a 65-meter hit that way. So the batsman will really be mindful of the fact that this is the shorter side, but it's going to be against that little breeze across the ground. That's not really going to matter. The pitch, it looks good. It looks like it's done all week long, all couple of weeks long, but we've seen that in these first 6 overs, I keep saying the first 6 overs because there is shine and lacquer on the ball, and with the pace of someone like a Martian Dilanga, you will find batting a really easy ball coming onto the bat, especially square of the wicket on the offside, square on the leg side as well. It's a 64-yard meter down the ground, so it's not a very big ground, but I just want to repeat that Rohit Powdell, after winning the toss, electing to field first. I just get the feeling the first time that it's not the wrong decision that he's made. I think it's the right one because it just gets a little easier with the very heavy dew around 6:37 p.m. So that would help them when they come out to chase these runs. But Biratnagar, Faf du Plessis in the house.
Now to my right, I'm joined by Andrew Leonard. But Andrew, you've got a topi in your hand. Who's this for?
Well, you're spot on, Jess. Good afternoon to you. And it's not just me with the Dhaka topi today. Look who is here to my right. It's the big man himself, Carlos Brathwaite. Carlos, namaste. And now, up you come. Let's have a look. Let's see how this goes. Okay, we got to pull it down a little bit. Get it down over that beautiful hair. You got your namaste in you? And the crowd are loving it. Carlos, great to have you here. Welcome to Nepal.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. I owe a few Nepali cricket fans a visit since the Everest Premier League was announced, NPL Season 1, and finally here for NPL Season 2. So really looking forward to it.
Yeah, isn't it great to have the big man here, Jess? I know you were on action for the Unity Cup, Nepal West Indies. Anybody remember the result of that match, that series?
Now the producer's saying something. Let's move on swiftly.
Nepal 2, West Indies 1.
Excellent. Well, we can't wait to have you join us, Carlos. But let's start with today's match then. The Kings are, of course, 4 from 5. What do they need to keep consistent today, and what can they adapt? Yeah,
look, the Kings, I think they're an outstanding side, and they've just been added to that with Faf du Plessis. He's someone you know well, Carlos, and he's going to add a lot of star power to this tournament. We saw Jason Roy, the World Cup winner, come into action yesterday. He played very nicely indeed, and the anticipation of Faf being here, it just adds a little something without that. He's a quality player.
No, yeah, quality player, and one of the challenges you have as an international player is trying to fly in after another tournament or just before you start another tournament. But he's so experienced. He would have done this for a number of years and with success as well. So the Nepali fans can experience Faf du Plessis in all his splendor, all his glory. And only a couple of weeks ago, he had something there with him sprinting. I tried to replicate that sprint and was a few miles per hour slower than he was. So
it was on Instagram, wasn't it? It was on Instagram, super slow-mo. I'm not going to lie, I was even having a look at that. He's a rock star.
Well, Carlos, a question for you about the Lions. They are 2 from 5, and of course you have experience captaining the West Indies T20 side yourself. What does Rohit Patel need to be instilling in his players as we, come on to the back end of the comp?
I think it's important to just be clear. I think at this point in the tournament, there's no use tinkering. Whatever you've done before, you've won 2 games, so how have you won them? The games that you got close and didn't win, how did you get close? How did you challenge? There's little bits of information within those games that you can take forward. You be really clear as a unit and you try to execute. At this point in time, execution is the name of the game. You're more worried about the result rather than the performance. How can you get over the line?
And Jess, just to build on that, we were with Ian Bishop, weren't we, for the Unity Cup, and he's someone who spoke so highly about Rohit Patel. He just manages to find a way, no matter how much pressure is on him, to rise up and really lead from the front.
Yeah, and a lot of times you want your leader to be that person to do it, but the leader can't do everything. So you always talk and you try to find leadership groups. Who are your senior players, that senior cohort of players that if the captain doesn't do it, can come to the fore. You always want to provide an area for your younger players to thrive. Because your senior players are doing the hard yards, how can the younger players then come up every once in a while and put in that match-winning performance?
Very good insight. And now I've got some very exciting players stepping onto this field today. Why don't we have a closer look at the 2 playing 11s?
Yeah, I'll take a little bit of a look at this for you here, Jess, and certainly look at the 2 sides in terms of the way in which they've come together. Just the one change for each. No surprise at all to see it is Faf du Plessis that comes into the starting 11. He comes in the place of Shehan Jayasuriya, who has suffered a really bad knee injury. His ACL is gone. He won't be available for the rest of the season. And then JJ Smith it is that comes in place of Gulbadi Naib. What I would like to see a bit more of today, Jess, is not just JJ Smith with the bat. I'd like to see the Lions use him with the ball as well.
Of course, now let's have a look at some standout players, starting with the Kings. Bashir Ahmed in match 16 versus the Yaks, 62 of 43. Carlos, I'll come to you. When the openers build those foundations, hitting big at the top of the order, how much confidence and foundation does that then set for the middle order batters to be able to come in and play explosively? Yeah,
it gives a level of freedom almost from ball 1. He was going in. There's some beautiful shots and there's some power, some timing, but as a middle order batter, and look at that celebration, means a lot for a young man to be on this stage and announcing himself to the world. But once you get that foundation from your top order, you just feel as though you always talk about risk when you're batting. Bowlers can go for 5 sixes and then get a wicket off the last ball. Batters only have one chance. So how do you calculate that risk? And you just feel as though if you have a good platform, there's a better springboard, there's a little bit less risk, and you could be a little bit more risk averse and just throw caution to the wind. By saying that, there's also some calculations need to be had. When do you get a single? When do you realize a bowler is having a good day and you almost give in to him and get a single? And then when you find that one ball that you can absolutely take down and get that 20, 22, 23 run over.
Yeah, and just to build on that for 2 seconds, Jess, you think about Faf du Plessis coming in, but the amount that Lokesh Bam and Bashir Ahmed are learning from Martin Guptill, who's obviously more in a coaching role at the moment. He's still out with that quad injury. Faf du Plessis now in, George Munsey in the 11. That's what the Nepal Premier League is all about. These domestic players getting exposure to international stars who've played all around the world.
Well, there we go. It'll be very interesting to see who hits big with the bat today. Now, Lenny, my favourite part again of the pre-show. Predictions time. Who are you backing today?
Well, I want to put Carlos on the spot. I know you've only just arrived. Come on, Carlos. Who are you predicting first? I'm going to go against you.
You know what? You'll probably say Faf. Glory hunter he is. So I'm going with the Lions and Rohit Padal.
Okay, he's going to go with the Lions. That's left me with the Kings. I promise Carlos one thing though. This atmosphere, as soon as this place gets full, it's sold out tonight, going to be seen to be believed.
Excellent. We can't wait to see the players in action. We bet you can't either. The players stepping onto the field as we speak. Forward, it's on its way. Don't go anywhere.
Thank you, Jess, Andrew and Carlos. Wonderful evening here. A very warm welcome and a very good evening to all of you as tuning in to Game Day 15, match number 22, and the live coverage coming to you live from the Tribhuvan University International Cricket Stadium. A confirmation, the Lumbini Lions winning the toss and electing to bowl first. Midweek entertainment guaranteed. That's because the Biratnagar Kings 1 win away from progressing into the playoffs, and Lumbini Lions, only to enhance their chances, will need to win today. And in that frame is the big man, the globe-trotting legend, Francois du Plessis. What a sight that is for NPL. What a big moment for Nepal Premier League to see someone as big as him make his way to the middle. And this certainly is a very special moment as well. A very good evening, Fazal Khalil.
Very good evening, Mikhail, and how nice it is to see Faf du Plessis in the house. He just adds to the strength and the meat of that Biratnagar Kings. They look so formidable on paper. Well, I just don't want to say anything about that. The numbers speak for themselves. But what I really like is that 137, his strike rate. That's 137 runs per 100 balls. That's Faf du Plessis, like you did mention, the legend here in Nepal, and his partner George Munsey. So much depends on him as well. He's been around here for the last couple of weeks. He's not really had the best of form, but I think today is the day with Faf in company. Just needs to take the single, turn the strike around, don't get too ahead of yourselves. Will be against Sher Malla. Straight away spin for the Lumbini Lions. And just reminding the viewers that the Lumbini Lions won the toss, elected to field first. For the first time in the tournament, I just get the feeling that he's made the right choice. It is an afternoon or late evening start, so by the time the lights come on, there will be a lot of dew on the ground as well, which perhaps may help the batting team.
You're all set for match number 22. The countdown has begun, and it's going to be Sher Malla to George Munsey. 4 on the off inside the circle, 3 on the onside, saving 1 for the left-handed Munsey with a deep backward square leg and a deep backward point. Malla has been amongst wickets. Plays the call. We're all set for ball 1. Best of 36 for Munsey in this competition so far. It's been a little slow off the blocks. He got that against the Kathmandu Gorkhas in the second game. He's gone quiet.
Well, yes, it's this time of the tournament that he needs to really pick up and bring his A game out.
That's a good delivery. Good shout. Given. Munsey has to depart for a second ball duck. Once again, that man Malla, the magician with the ball, striking early. Great start here for the Lumbini Lions.
Well, absolutely sensational scenes here at the TU International Ground. He's done a lap of honor on his own, got the big George Munsey out. We did mention that he is struggling for form as the one that just comes on with the arm. The umpire, absolutely no hesitation. There it is, the victory lap all on his own. George Muncy, another failure for him. LBW, Sher Malla, the very second delivery. He's gone for a duck, won't disturb the scorers. The Kings put into bat are none for one.
Not much has changed for Lokesh Baum in the last games. He's been opening. He's out there in ball number 3. Asked to bat at number 3 today, but he's walked out very early in the first over, courtesy a Malla magic show with the ball. And what a start for the Lions. Win the toss, bowl first wicket in the first over.
Well, he wasn't looking to turn it at all. If you see, his index finger was on the seam of the ball and he just lets the ball go, which will by definition just drift down. Very interesting decision this early in the piece by the umpire.
Nice, Malla!
Off the mark is Lokesh Baum. Just take one more look at it, Mikhail. Just see, just take a look at that finger. He just uses his index finger, and the ball coming in with the arm, beating the batsman, all ends up. There is a nod from him and a roar in the crowd as Faf du Plessis will face his first ball in the season 2 of the Nepal Premier League.
Yeah, what a record this man has, Faf du Plessis. 83 50s, 800s in the T20 format. Close to 2 decades of cricket ever since his first-class debut in 2004. It's 2025. He's seen the works, he's been there, he's done that. Here he is facing his first ball. And did that almost carry. First runs for Faf du Plessis in the Nepal Premier League.
What an intelligent bit of bowling this. He just floated it up there. You see Faf du Plessis acknowledging it as well. Just take a look at that. Trifle in the air. Extremely good bowling this. And if he had straightened a little bit more from there, perhaps that first slip would have come into play.
Yeah, he's begun well, Yamala. Good start for the Lions. Done with over number 1. It's 2 for 1.
Well, just take a look at the Biratnagar Kings. They look so formidable there with George Muncy back in the hut. Lokesh Baum. Lot depends on Faf du Plessis, Sam Heazlett, and then the big name there in the middle or latter half of the innings, Bashir Ahmed. Watch out for him. He's the one who got that 62 or 42 deliveries to take them home against the Yaks. The Lumbini Lions have started well though. They've picked up George Muncy. Can they just get that prized wicket of Faf du Plessis? It's JJ Smith from the Chobar end, and he's the one who's come in for this game in place of Gulbadan Naib.
He's not bowled much in this competition, just the 2 overs so far in the 3 matches that he's played in. Usually it's Ruben Trumpelman who opens with the new ball, and today it's been Smith. All right then. Will Faf du Plessis enjoy the pace on the ball on the surface? Here he is. A smart cricketer. Just get to the other end and just see himself through initially. You never know. A big Faf du Plessis specials loading this evening.
Normally we see a huge crowd coming in when the Biratnagar Kings come out and play. Their skipper, a big draw, Sandeep Lamachane. Well, if you see, Mikhail, I like this change up. They've used Smith early in the piece just to get rid of whatever little nerves may be there. He needs to bowl a couple of tight overs, and that's when du Plessis will be just sizing things up. But the informed player, Lokesh Baum, there it is, another section of the crowd growing all the time.
Good running, good calling. It's the first time they are batting together in the middle. For this kind of coordination, you got to really appreciate both of them. Just looking into the eyes sometime, two batters, and they set off for a run.
Yeah, but that's when you've played many years together. You play for the same club side or the same state side. But here, very different. Lokesh Baum would not have played with the Faf du Plessis, and to just respond to the single and take it comfortably shows how good a runner between the wickets Lokesh Baum and Faf du Plessis are.
We saw Shikhar Dhawan last season come and play in NPL. This year we're seeing Faf du Plessis. Along with them, a lot of international stars. We've seen Martin Guptill, Gulbuddin Naid came. Clearly, the NPL is certainly making a global impression over here, Fazal.
Well, absolutely it is. I was watching the ILT20 telecast late last night, and I just realized that the crowds here are a little better than they are in the Middle East. Welcome Faf du Plessis, and why not? A lot of them have come here in droves just to watch this gentleman on your screen, and if he can just come good for them today, Biratnagar Kings, big win here will really help. There it is. Just need to be careful. He gets away with it, does Faf du Plessis. The first boundary for him in season 2 of the NPL, and his first innings, first hit, first boundary.
Yeah, didn't quite get to the pitch of the ball. The bat turning in the hand. The Encel Super 4 coming through. Yeah, one-handed effort by the end of it, but good enough for him. It was straightish. It didn't quite go towards mid-on. He'll have to really gauge the pace of the surface early on. That's much better. 7 runs of over number 2. It's 8 for 1.
9 runs on the board, 1 loss of 1 wicket.
Let me tell you something about me real quick. I came to eat, don't gotta save me a seat. Loud in the dark, turn the rug up. My 9 that I could do my sight.
Well, so the Paschim Royals sitting pretty at the top of the table. They're 5 played, 5 win. They've qualified for the playoffs. It's the next 3 spots that 6 teams are really fighting for there. The Janakpur Bulls also have a chance if they can win their last 2 encounters. The Pokhara Avengers look a really good team like we saw last evening. They have 2 games as well. So everything to play for until that final league game of the tournament. Abhishek Gautam, the left-arm spinner. Oh, beautifully struck this. That's class, that's timing, and that's Faf du Plessis showing exactly how to do it. Just leaning back and placing it between those 2 fielders for a very sweet boundary.
Yeah, that's class on display. Beautifully accessing the gap, splitting the 2 fielders inside the circle. Placement and timing on that, impeccable. What a moment here for a spinner like Abhishek Gautam, Sher Malla to be bowling to Faf du Plessis, and if you end up getting his wicket, you get the bragging rights. Yeah, much better, tossing it up, inviting the batter. Throwing the challenge here to Faf du Plessis is Abhishek Gautam. And Biratnagar Kings and the Lumbini Lions, great support here. Yeah, the arm delivery driven. Every run from the bat of du Plessis is being cheered for.
Well, just take a look at how slow the pitch is, Mikhail. He commits to the front foot, then has enough time to go back, rock back, and still get the placement. That's what he needs to get a hang of, the pace of the pitch.
quick to just show the bat. The batters these days got some bat on it.
Well, I'm not a big fan of the batsmen showing the umpire. They're good umpires, the international umpires. There he is on your screen.
That's Mr. Ravindra Vimalasiri.
Nice, good thinking. Nice, Abhay.
There he is, Ravindra Vimalasiri. Very nice, soft-spoken gentleman. And his partner, a good friend of mine, Prageet Rambakwela, both from Sri Lanka, international, gone. Faf du Plessis will make that walk back. Exactly what we were talking about. The slowness of the pitch does the big South African in.
Beaten in the air, beaten by the slowness of the ball in the air as well and off the surface. And Abhishek Gautam will live this moment for a while and he'll savor it as well. And in his CV, it will read Faf du Plessis, Stump Dikwela, bowled Abhishek Gautam. What a delivery, nicely tossed up. And look at the acknowledgement here by Faf du Plessis. Just talks about the ball and the bowler on display. Isn't he happy? What a moment here for the youngster, and a big moment for the Lions as du Plessis walks back for 12. It's 15 for 2. Great start for the Lions here, very early in the innings. The Biratnagar Kings on the back foot. Sam Hazlett walks out a best of 74 in his T20 career. And he has a best of 22 in this competition. He's rotated his bowler, then shuffled them very nicely. You would have thought that Sher Malla would have got another over, but he brings in Abhishek and he gets another wicket.
Beautifully bowled, this completely foxed batsman of the caliber of Faf du Plessis. There it is. You just see he comes out there and then he realizes that the ball is not there at all. Back live. A fabulous piece of bowling. This held it back nicely. It landed in the same spot as the previous delivery, but it was slightly slower in the air, and it foxed Faf du Plessis, and that wicket he will remember for the rest of his life.
Nicely bowled, slow through the air, completely flummoxed there was Faf du Plessis. Got to give it to the bowler here. He's a very good youngster, Abhishek Gautam. Some lovely deliveries coming out of the hand of Trumpelman.
Just take a look at this again. Again, the slowness in the pitch, the lack of pace is why I did mention, Mikhail, that perhaps it's the right decision made by the skipper Rohit Paudel here, because as we get into the evening and the dew settles in, perhaps the ball would come nicely onto the bat.
Yeah, they're hitting the stumps this evening, the Lions. Spring in their stride, 2 quick wickets. Yeah, you did mention that. For Rohit Paudel to win the toss and decide to bowl first, it's a very good decision actually, because you believe the surface will get better as the dew also sets in maybe sometime later.
Well, it may not get better, but certainly batting would get easier, home and dry. Umpire Vimalasiri just going up for confirmation, just to be sure. When you have the technology, use the technology. Biratnagar slightly in a spot of bother.
Very important match here for the Lumbini Lions. If they need to enhance their chances to making it into the top 4, today's win is very important. Even if they miss out mathematically, they still stand a chance, but a lot will depend on the other games. A cutaway, and that will clatter into the Toblerones as well. What a way to get off the mark. Just how nicely he got on top of this and hit it square of the wicket, Hazlitt.
Well, if you take a look at Hazlitt here, he waited for the ball to come to him and played it behind point. Now that's going to be the way to go about doing it. He didn't really reach out for the ball like how we saw Faf du Plessis doing to the medium pace in the last over when he got that very lucky boundary. But this he was in control of, played it right in the center of his two legs. Played it exactly where he should have, late and to the left of point on this pitch.
Five runs of over number 4. Great start here by the Lions. It's 20 for 2.
Well, except for that match number 3 where they really won hands down, the rest of them have been little shaky, especially that win against the Karnali Yaks by 3 wickets. They look very convincing, but they've had to work for those victories, have the Biratnagar Kings. We saw Martin Guptill getting runs in that very first game, and that's when they looked really good. But after that, they haven't combined well as a team. They've bowled very well. They've fielded extremely well. Their batting is slightly suspect at the moment. This is the opportunity for the Kings to just start priming themselves as they get to the business end of the tournament.
Absolutely, Fazil. It'll be interesting to see how Lokesh Baum approaches this innings of his. Started off in some style, getting 70. 2 top batters back in the dugout. He needs to really curb his instincts of going big and play to the merit of the ball. You just sometimes feel he tries to get ahead of himself and tries to go after the bowling very early in his innings, Fazil. You've been impressed in the first outing, but after that he's gone quiet. Shot selection is the key here for Lokesh Baum.
Well, absolutely. We've been talking so much about Lokesh Baum. He times the ball so well. He's got the gift of timing. But you play a shot like that on a pitch like this, you're asking for trouble. It's better to stay back and wait for the cut outside the off stump for the left arm spinner. Maybe sweep the off spinner. I'm always one for sweeping with the spin, not against the spin.
Yes, I'm not able to understand what is Lokesh Baum trying to do in the middle. They've lost 2 big wickets. They need a partnership here. Hazlitt has hit a very nice 4. He's just playing out of character.
Well, under the cosh, certainly are the Biratnagar Kings, not getting the ball off the square really. A lot of work to be done by Lokesh Baum. 4 of 16. He can't throw it away now. Much better. Take the singles, play yourself in, and then you can explode. 5 overs done. Put into bat. 21 for 2. The Kings.
Du Plessis, he's gone in the first 5, gone for 12, and the Kings will have to rebuild. Lokesh Baum's found it a bit tricky, 5 off 17, batting at 3 today. That's more like it's tossed up and hammered away, and I think that's the perfect way to welcome a man who found the rope with consummate ease when he batted and occasionally cleared it too. Good afternoon, early good evening, Carlos Brathwaite.
Yeah, super shot. You always want to make the most of the power play if you can. the last over in the power play is always the one you tend to attack the most. It's a good platform. First ball boundary.
Tries to go again, gets it again. Oh, all the way. Really flat six, and look at the improvement from Heaslett. He says, oh, that's a very good stroke. Bam goes boom.
Once again, first ball 4, this one 6. He's on the charge. And one over can change things, and it could have right the wrongs of what's been a sluggish power play so far, for important deliveries to come.
Oh, unlucky Shermala, just went a little flatter through the air. Probably the two most important overs in all T20 cricket now, aren't they? The 6th, the final of the power play, and the penultimate, the 19th.
Yeah, and you look at just before this over, 20 odd for 2, and you're thinking if you get a quiet over, the Lions would have won the power play, but with 3 balls to go and you get a couple boundaries and you get up to 40 for 2, that's quite even, and the Kings would have taken that before the start of play. So it's a quite important over to also give momentum going into that middle period, which on slow, sluggish wickets sometimes can be a real trek and a hassle for a batting unit. Can you take some momentum out of the power play?
Had a few injury challenges, the Kings, this season, Carlos, because, well, Shehan Jayasuriya, I think he was in the country for less than 24 hours. His ACL and his MCL went in one very nasty incident on the outfield. I thought it was his ankle that twisted, but actually it was the knee that got very badly affected. So that means Sam Heaslett has held on to his spot. He's actually been under the weather and sick, and we both spoke to Martin Guptill before the start of play. He's still battling that quad injury. And even George Munsey has a bit of a shoulder niggle that he's playing through. So, yeah, the physio has been in plenty of action for the Kings. And as we think of their captain, Sandeep Lamachani, he's kind of had to shuffle his deck of cards.
Finish well, finish well.
Yeah, but it's also good to see the international players playing through the pain barrier. It means a lot to the fans who come out and pay to watch the cricket. And the fact that they're sacrificing, in some cases, their health to perform is commendable.
End of the power play, end of the 6, advantage to the Lions, but the Kings are only 2 down, 34 for 2. Tremendous support the Kings have had all season. I think alongside the Sudapashim Royals and maybe the reigning champions, the Janakpur Bolts, the 3 best supported sides this season. But the Lions have come in good number and in good colour too. And the atmosphere here at the TU throughout this season, it's a sellout tonight, it's a sellout tomorrow, it's a sellout Saturday. The only day there's any tickets left available for Friday and Sunday, and I can promise you the playoffs are going to sell out. So get onto that Kelty app and get those tickets now before it's too late, as we've only got 10 days of the Siddhartha Bank Nepal Premier League Season 2 left. Loving every second here, as here comes a talented young leg spinner brought into the attack earlier by Rohit Paudel. This time as Paudel fields excellently mixed up, gets sent back. And just as well. Now, Carlos, you're with me in Sharjah for that Unity Cup. You know all about the excellence of the Nepali fielders.
Yeah, and it's always a pleasure to watch it on show. The few things in cricket that gets you off your seat: fast bowling, six hitting, and electric fielding. And Nepal definitely have the latter down pat.
I promise you I'm not twisting the knife here. I know I reminded you of the series result in the pre-game show, but that second game, when the West Indies were bowled out for 83, I think there was 8 catches in that match, and 5 or 6 of them were spectacular. Gulshan Jha, Kushal Bertel, Dipendra Singh Airi.
Yeah, it was definitely a shock to the West Indies boys. I think one of the things that I often comment on with regards to West Indies cricket is a lack of intensity. And I think when you come up against a police team who's filled with intensity, electricity in the field, the basics become so important. And if you're off on your day and you have another team who's on, they're doing the basics well, the 1%ers, you can come unstuck. And yeah, it said a lot about where Nepal cricket is, where it can go, and it kind of showed some of the characteristics that brought them how far they are at the moment. So it's good to know to see it in the flesh, up close and personal.
Yeah, I think it was the Gulshan Jag catch of Jason Holder who was the top scorer of that innings. And even I remember vividly Holder's reaction and Stuart Law's reaction, the Nepal head coach on the sideline. Even Stuart Law begrudgingly was going, we're playing pretty well here.
Yeah, good performances like bad performances from snowball. It takes one stop in the field, one amazing catch, and you feel as though it starts to spread throughout the team, much like when you start to drop. One person drops, everyone drops. Good fielding can just be as infectious as poor fielding, and this man on screen, Rohit Padel, not only an amazing leader but an amazing fielder as well.
Yeah, him alongside Bertel and Irie, I think they really set the benchmark. Actually seen quite a few catches go down, but I think that's been an adjustment to the floodlights. The local players who haven't played internationally, who've never played under them before, getting used to them. Good tight over from Tilak to start with. It's 38 for 2. Darcy Short, not just an explosive opening batter, but very talented wrist spinner. Saw you saying hello to him before the start of play. Did you play with him somewhere?
Played against him in Big Bash, and when you're on the circuit and you see a guy 3 or 4 tournaments, you might grab a drink in the bar, say hello when you pass, and yeah, he's a chilled character. Aussies are normally more intense, he's more laid back, a little bit more West Indian than Aussie. So yeah, we've shared a few conversations over the years.
Oh yes, that's it!
Yeah, nicely played. Yeah, I have to say, just so fantastic to have the big man alongside me here. Carlos Brathwaite going to be with us rest of the season. What do you reckon here, Dakatopi? I think Sharad Vasaker gave you one in charge, but it was off camera. I think it looks good.
Yeah, it goes well with the trouser, black polo. Thanks to the NPL fam, keeping the fashion sense alive.
Pumped down the ground, over pitched by Short and put away. 2 or 3 years ago, Lokesh Bam could not play the kind of innings he is playing now because he would already have got out having started slowly. He's showing an increased maturity, and I wonder, is it going to be this young man opening the batting against the West Indies come T20 World Cup in Mumbai?
But it shows a lot of maturity to be able to get through a sticky period. Everyone came to see Faf, George Munzi, the international guys, but Lokesh Bam, ever so quietly stealing the show, and we almost put the mockers on him with the good old commentator's curse. But it is good to watch players. There's been this trend in T20 cricket where swing, and if you get out, you get out. There's still a price to put on your wicket, and he's shown that he can do that and mix that and marry that with going long and going big when it is the correct time.
He's not picking him. Oh, this is going to be interesting. He is not picking him at all. And I suspect this might go upstairs. And we're going to be going searching for the law book because, well, there's been a few famous occurrences. Graham Gooch, probably the most famous one. Law 33 is going to be the one that we're going to have a look at here. He's not picked the googly. Back he comes. No, Lokesh. Oh, he hasn't touched it. Isn't he lucky? Oh, don't do that to us. We've had enough drama already this season.
He's giving them all the dummy. In football, you talk about he dropping his shoulder and giving the goalkeeper the eyes. Lokesh Bam, need to find something for that. Just a nice little dummy, feigning to touch it with the hand and then watching it past. But I tell you what, they looked for handle-ball, but I wonder if he was outside the crease, would that have potentially been obstructing the field, stopping Niroshan Dikwela from being able to stump him. So if his foot doesn't get down, and it is down now, so I think it doesn't look like he touched it. It looks like his foot was down, so it probably is much ado about nothing, but it's very exciting and a few grey areas to excite us.
We just wanted to welcome you to the drama, welcome you to the excitement, welcome you to the chaos of the Nepal Premier League, Carlos.
What's he saying? Am I the drama?
You're certainly bringing it. 10 occasions in international history, batters have been dismissed, handled the ball. The famous one I always remember was that Ashes test, Graham Gooch, back in 1993. Steve Waugh on that list. Darrell Cullinan's in there too. I don't think he's touched this. I don't quite know why we're continuing to look at it. Of course, Dickwela's at the heart of the action. He's never far away from it. Michael Vaughan did it against India, Chinnaswamy in Bangalore too in a test match. And the last man to be dismissed, handle the ball in test cricket, as the crowd roar, is Chamu Chubaba of Zimbabwe. Darcy Short smiles and Lokesh Bam survives. I'd imagine that's already going to be on social media. Lucky, lucky Lokesh. And good decision. Get down the non-striker's end. Just take a breath.
That is so underrated from a batsmanship standpoint. You get a slow start, you get a few boundaries. Sometimes batters don't appreciate cycling through the gears. You want to go from first gear to fifth gear. No, just up and down, singles, getting the other end.
Nice, Darcy, nice, Darcy.
Brave piece of bowling, last ball of the over. He really tossed that up to his fellow Australian. Did Darcy Short. 9 from his first. It's 47 for 2. There's a bit of turn on offer in the surface. He's lit. Oh, look at that extension of the long levers. It is the best place to hit here at the TU ground, Carlos. You always get good rewards straight down the ground, and that's the maximum reward.
Good matchup for the left hand as well, the leg spinner. And it didn't drop, it didn't dip. But Sam took a dip with the back knee and going for the maximum straight back.
I really like young Tilak as a leg spinner. But as part of his development and his evolution as a young leg spinner, I think he's got to make more use of his front arm. If you just get a look here, Carlos, you and I played against each other obviously in Dublin. You remember facing my leg. He's used that front arm more.
Yeah, a little bit more energy as well. Not necessarily to run in faster, but those last few steps, can you get a little bit more energy through the crease?
He's accurate, and you wouldn't want to change him too much, but I'm not suggesting you change your action or change your method. But you think back to those iconic images of Shane Warne at his release point. Even Rashid Khan in his own way makes a lot of use of the forward momentum in a different way. You want all of your body weight, all of your momentum pushing towards the target. That might be the top of the off stump or the keeper's gloves. Just a bit more I'd like from his front arm.
No, nice ball, Tilak. Nice, Tilak, nice, Tilak.
Yeah, you look at the run up here, there's not much happening there, but in and around here, can you get a little bit more with the feet, with the lower parts of the body, is a real strenuous delivery at the crease itself. There's not much before he gets to the crease. And you mostly talk about it with fast bowlers, but listen to someone like Nathan Lyon, who obviously is not a reverse spinner. He speaks heavily about getting enough energy to the crease and then being able to see that energy in his pivot. So can he get a little bit more energy to that and put a few more revs on the ball?
That one's just kept a bit low. Heaslett's done well actually playing across the line. 9 runs from the 9th over. It's 56 for 2. Change of bowling. Going to be Ruben Trumpelman brought back in for a burst. Powell's seen enough of the spinners for the moment. Big Namibian, broad-shouldered. Strong action. His batting's improved significantly and definitely deserves his place here at the MPL. Have you seen anything of Trumpelman?
Yeah, I watched him a fair bit. He's been knocking around, you know, playing in a few leagues around the world. Obviously did well for Namibia in the World Cup as well.
He's a talented cricketer. Okay, I think we've got Jess Crow down pitch side with some immediate reaction from the Lions. Who have you got, Jess?
Well, Lenny, I'm joined by Shakti Gautam from the Lumbini Lions. Shakti, an excellent start for the Lions tonight. What have you made of the team?
Yeah, thank you so much. Right now is a bit balanced for both the team. Starting we took the 2 wickets, so at that time we are a bit in upper hand, but right now location, helmet is make the partnership, so that partnership is crucial for us.
And with your previous experience representing Nepal, how have you been able to work quite closely with the young talent coming into the team?
Yeah, of course, NPL is a very big platform for the youngster, and boys are doing well. The youngsters are all enjoying, and this is the biggest platform for them. So hope they will grab the opportunity for the future.
And what does your role look like within the Lions?
My role is as a consultant coach, so I'm giving some tips for the whenever you bowl in power play, in middle over and death over, and which line in which area you have to bowl. So for batsmen in power play, how you handle that power play and middle over. So all these things are in my area, so I'm helping for the team.
Excellent. And let's touch on the crowd. They've come in numbers, game in, game out. How nice has it been to see their support for the players?
Yeah, of course, this is the biggest ever sports right now in Nepal. So hopefully this grow future is better and better. So I think cricket is growing up, and Nepal, I think we have a wonderful future for everyone in Nepal cricket.
And what's an ideal score here this evening to restrict the Kings to?
I think we are thinking to below 150. That should be better for us. But I think wicket look good. So if they batted well, then maybe 170 they will go. So maybe we can chase the 180. But this partnership is the crucial for them.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much. All the best for you and the Lions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go back to comms.
Well, I'll promise you something. Thank you, Jess, firstly. In a stacked field, in a country of wonderful people, some of the nicest people you meet anywhere in the world, you will not meet a nicer man than Shakti Gautam, the iconic figure that he is, the hero of the 2014 T20 World Cup. And the work he is doing with his own academy, and indeed everyone down in Biratnagar in the Lumbini province, phenomenal, bringing on multiple iterations, generations of cricketers, an inspirational figure, and doing a great job with the Lions. Carlos, just quickly, atmosphere here, enjoying it so far?
Yeah, loving it. I once posted something on Twitter about the Zimbabwe atmosphere, and I was told you have to experience Kathmandu. And what I will say is it has not disappointed. Everyone has been sharing the love. The seats are jam-packed, probably one stand that has a little bit of space. You can hardly find space to think in that shot. But no, I've been enjoying it. The roar when they announced Faf du Plessis was, I don't know, unlike any other. So yeah, looking forward to the tournament going on and hearing and seeing more of the atmosphere.
You better get your cheeks ready, Carlos. I think you're going to have more than a few photo requests, and you'll be getting used to doing lots of selfies across the course of the coming 10 days. Okay, fascinating first half. It's a good third wicket partnership that's rebuilding it up for the Kings. It's time for the Expert Education Strategic Timeout. The Biratnagar Kings, 59 for 2. Who's walking away with the Midea AC this evening? Remember, the coolest fan of the day will receive a reward from Midea AC, and a brand new AC will be coming his or her way for being the most energetic and coolest fan of the day. And there are so many at the TU Stadium during the Nepal Premier League. Yeah, they just love their cricket, they love life, they love dancing, they love music, and they love being here as well. A very good evening once again, and a very good evening to HT Ackerman.
Yeah, good evening, Mikel. Well, the players having a little bit of a refreshment before we get into the second half of this intriguing contest. And the first half, well, I suppose you would say it was all the Lions, particularly when George Munsey was out LBW to Muller, second ball. Then the introduction of the man everyone's been waiting for. Faf du Plessis hit a couple of good shots before Abhishek could celebrate, to the disappointment of everyone in attendance. It's been a rebuilding phase for Lokesh Bam and Sam Heaslet. Lokesh unbeaten on 28, Heaslet unbeaten on 18. But you would think on a slowish surface that they'd have to score a little bit more than the 59 that they have in 10 overs in the next 10.
Absolutely, HT. You've got to play yourself in as a batter on the surface. Not easy. The ball's not coming onto it the way they would like to. How well has this boy bowled, Abhishek Gautam? 1 for 7 in his 2. The big wicket of Faf du Plessis. Nicely swept. Good start to the over. Work to do for the fielder. He'll cut it around. Malla with a throw. 1 for the shot, 1 for the throw. A bit of a misfield. I like the way Lokesh Bam is now playing himself in.
Nice urgent running. So when there's a little bit of a fumble in the deep, they're able to get through for 2. Always important to run that first one as hard as you can. There's the mistake.
Keep your eyes on the ball. That's what the coach will tell all the kids very early in their fielding drills. Yeah, he swept that from outside off, and he's done it with precision. Splits the 2 fielders in the deep. Lokesh Bam is readying himself for a big score.
Excellent shot. Because the ball's outside off stump, Lokesh Bam's able to hit this well in front of square. He's looking for the boundary on purpose here. He knows if he gets it forward of square, there's no protection. Be brave. Come on, there's turn there for you. You don't have to dart it in. Looking for the arm ball. That's tight.
Quicker delivery. He's been fancying the shot since the time he's arrived at the crease here, Lokesh Baum.
It bounces. Look at the bounce. Another arm ball.
Interesting to see Vid Dikwela got it as well. That's more like it. You give it air, you bowl it slower, you'll purchase some turn.
Niroshan Dikwela is not exactly the tallest man in the world, but still he catches this head height. Wow.
You can sense a change of confidence in a young bowler when you get a wicket of someone like Faf du Plessis, HD.
It's been a lovely start for the young man. 11 gone, 66 for 2.
Yeah, some work to do for the Biratnagar Kings. They were 15 for 2. Good repair work. This partnership for the third wicket worth 51 and 50. It's come at a run of ball. But yeah, from here on, in the next 54 deliveries, ideally you'd want to believe the Biratnagar Kings need to reassess their plans in the middle with the bat. Lokesh and Hazlitt are looking good, but they need to target a bowler here. JJ Smith has begun well. They're trying to use the pace, will fetch a single. And they've been good this evening, the Lumbini Lions, in the field particularly. Yeah, many smiling faces at this venue as always. And there he is, our Happy Dent, sparkling smile, fan of the day and the match. Yeah, gives us a big wave, big shout out, and a hamper is coming your way, young man. Congratulations, that smile says it all. I'm getting a goodie.
He only just snuck in with that moment, that Happy Dent moment, because Abhishesh ran him a close second with his dismissal of Faf du Plessis. Because there was a smile from ear to ear when he dismissed the ex-South African captain.
I so wish we could have it on split screen, HD, to show it to you. Get the comparisons of the smiles and those pearly teeth showing up as well. How broad does it get for Abhishesh? Well, you asked for it, HD, and yeah, our director obliges.
Oh, fresh off the plane, he doesn't know that it turns here. Yep, there it is. That's a Happy Dent moment for you. Well done.
He's not taking the Happy Dent tamper today for sure. Faf du Plessis, but what a moment here for NPL to see this man.
Yeah, wonderful player, and fantastic that he's considered coming here as well when there might have been some other options for him. You know, we keep saying that these players need to come here to see it, to believe it, and I think I can doff my cap to Faf du Plessis, a wonderful international player who's come here to see it with his own eyes.
That's gone high up in the air. JJ Smith says it's mine, and he'll take it as well. Lokesh Baum after a very good start, has handed over the advantage back to the Lumbini Lions, and Smith is now amongst wickets.
He was never going to drop this. The attitude before the ball landed in his hands suggested he was going to always catch this, because once it goes in the air, he is telling everyone to clear out of his path. That is going nowhere. Very fine catch. And Lokesh Bam goes for a nicely played 35 in difficult conditions. It's 70 for 3.
The Lions are putting the squeeze on the Kings at the moment. Narayan Joshi walks out. And you have Bashir Ahmed in the middle, who scored a 60 odd and won the game. Ideally, I would have liked to have seen him, HD.
Yeah, still a nice player, Joshi, but I'm in agreement with you. You know, you want form at the wicket, and he'll be full of confidence, won't he?
Yeah, Joshi got 25 or 16 in the last game when he was in that association with Bashir. So yes, he's another very fine quality bat. It's up to the team management what they feel is best in the middle there. Left, right, maybe.
Now it's just a little bit out of shot, which is a great pity, but JJ Smith basically gesticulates with both his arms, clearing a path around him, saying, this ball is mine. And that's what you want from an outfielder.
Oh, he's given that a whack, and that's gone beyond the boundary ropes. Hazlett's looking good this evening, and a good finish to the over despite losing a wicket very early. 77 for 3 after 12. And Lokesh in the middle where they stitched 50 runs, but after Lokesh's departure, once again a bit of repair work over here. Hazlett's looking good. Narayan just walked out. Another full house this evening. Midweek entertainment. Another talented bowler here. Tilak Raj Bhandari, the leg spinner. Watch him give that ball a lot of rip. Good start.
Bowls it quickly, doesn't he? Bowls it very quickly. He'll be a handful if he gets some turn like that.
Close, directed, but he had one stump to aim at. A bit of confusion and misunderstanding. Oh dear, they'll have to be careful here, Narayan and Hazlett.
Just needed to be a better throw. And I know that Erison Dikwela indicates that the ball should go to the non-strikers end, but if this is over the top of the stumps, it's probably out.
Yeah, you spoke about the speed at which the leg spinner was bowling. Has it become a set template now? Spinners, particularly leg spinners, will maybe just give that more pace in the air than give it more flight, understanding how the batters are approaching the game and the growing demands of it.
think in T20 cricket, that's certainly the case. I don't think in the longest version. In Test cricket, you still get the ball, you give it a little bit of flight, you give it an opportunity to bounce. This is very much in the mould of Rashid Khan. It's quick, it's not forward of a length, it's almost, if he makes a mistake, he's back of a length. You want to force the batter to play back and try and hit across the line. That's what they're after in order to get wickets.
Narayan Joshi little slow to respond to Heaslett's call in that last run. And there again you saw some purchase for the spinner. Good pick up and throw there by Darcy Shot. Oh, he's lost his shape on this. Just falls short. Oh, they're pushing for the second. They'll get there comfortably.
Again, the throw going to the striker's end now. Just bear in mind that it's an extra 22 yards that the ball has to travel, which gives the batter that little bit of extra time to get in. So ideally you throw to the non-striker's end, unless both batters are standing at the non-striker's end, but very little chance of a run out when you throw the ball that way.
Another quick single. Oh, they're living dangerously here, both these batters. Not quite sure about that calling and how good a judge they are of the singles, particularly at point, but they've accumulated 5 in this over, 82 for 3. Yeah, it's a packed Wednesday evening here at the Tribhuvan University International Cricket Stadium. Some familiar faces. That's Karna Thapa there. Recognize him. He's a staunch supporter of the Pokhara Avengers. Every team comes with their fair share of die-hard cricket fans in this part of the world. Did meet quite a few of them playing cricket just by the ground over here. Malla. Oh, this is another very easy decision, and it's been given. Ramba Kuela, no hesitation in giving the marching orders to Narayan, and Malla yet again strikes in his first over after being brought back into a spell.
This does have a little bit of air on it. Much slower, different paces being bowled between Malla and Tilak. Players have to adjust. And Narayan was looking to get on with things, but unfortunately he's trapped. LBW for 5. The Kings, not having it their own way, are 82 for 4.
The Lions are on a prowl tonight, and this man, Bashir Ahmed, what an innings he played a couple of nights ago. Pulled his team out of the dead, hit a match-winning 60-odd, got them through the finishing line. Lovely character to talk to. He walks out when his team needs another gem from his bat. And he's off the mark immediately as well. Talk about a batter who's scored a strokeful 50 in the last game, just coming and nudging the ball here and there.
As good a player as he is, I wish he was wearing a helmet. You know, it's not only quick bowlers, but you get on the sweep or the reverse sweep and you get a top edge and you're visiting the dentist. It was a sensational innings.
This should be another wicket. Fielder getting underneath, pouched. Malla gets a little luckier, but he takes another wicket in the very same over. He's having a lovely evening, and 1 brings 2 as he's led 2. departs.
A little lucky. Never a truer word said, because this was a long hop, and Heaslit's eyes lit up and said, I'm going to hit this out of Kathmandu. Instead, a top edge is found, and it just loops to the man at short 45. Heaslet goes for a better than a runner ball, 27. The Kings are now 83 for 5.
Pratish GC walks out. He had a couple of sixes of Kushal Malla a couple of nights ago in a losing cause. And he can bat. How long can he put a price on his wicket? Malla is just having a whale of a time in the middle here. And that's why the promotion of Bashir Ahmed is so important.
It won't be in his highlight reel, Malla, when he retires, because he's a little fortunate, but he's bowled some wonderful deliveries over the course of this competition that haven't got wickets, so well done.
Two wickets in this over for Malla.
This was out. This was a lovely bit of bowling. A lot less pace. Just straightened. The next delivery probably should have gone out the ground, but instead they'll run hard, yeah. They'll run hard. Oh, so they forced the error. Forced the error. 2 wickets for Malla in the over. 14 gone. 87 for 5.
Half the side back in the dugout inside 90 here for the Biratnagar Kings. They were 60 for 5 a couple of nights ago when Bashir Ahmed got that special going in a tense chase. And today the surface is presenting a bit more challenge. And again, it's Bashir who'll have to bat and revolve around that lower order of his. We'll have to see what's the kind of approach he brings in. Yeah, he'll work it around. Yeah, it's always a lovely drive to the stadium each afternoon and morning for us. That's because we are coming in the Omora and Jayco new Jayco J5, the real SUV with the best in-segment range specifications. And remember, rupees 25,000 will be donated to education per match hit on the J5 podium. It is indeed a grand sight and a good drive as well, with great features inside of it. Yeah, it's a lovely car. Meanwhile, a lovely outing for this boy. 1 for 15, he has kept things tight, has got a big scalp. Leading edge. Would you be tempted to have a slip in this time of the game?
No, I don't know. I don't think I would have a slip. Not at this time of the game. I think there's a run out on the cards here, because I think those men at backward point are well in the game, and at some point there's going to be a clean pickup and a good throw. They're desperate for runs. Urgent.
Yeah, Bashir eyes the mid-wicket region every now and then to the left-arm spiller. We talk about the matchups. Abhishek Gautam has been a treat to the eyes today.
Turn, and he gets some bounce with his arm ball as well.
He slowed the pace, varied the pace very nicely. Short and wide. They're just helping the batter there.
Yeah, again, that delivery is a great example of what is not a very effective delivery in the long formats, but is an effective delivery in T20. You know, it's a long hop, it's outside off stump, it's a square cut. 5-day test match, that's 4. T20, just a single to the sweeper.
Yeah, different formats, different approaches. And just give that a bit of a rip over there. Oh, this could be close. As you rightly pointed out, HD. Point is kept interested. And they'll soon make an impact as well.
Yeah, they're running for everything that goes in this region. Again, this would have been tight, probably out.
Need some flight here from Abhishek. It's Pratish GC, he'll fancy the bat. Yeah, that's more like it. Hits it over the bowler's head, one bounce, and that'll trickle away to the Toblerones. Good finish to the over. He can have the big hits going from his willow. At the halfway stage and 5 overs more, it's 96 for 5 and work to do for the Biratnagar Kings.
Welcome back. You're watching the Siddhartha Bank Nepal Premier League 2025. We are in season 2, match 21. The Biratnagar Kings 34 for 2 in their power play, 62. They've lost 3 wickets. They're in a spot of bother. Beautiful conditions, beautiful ground here, set amongst the majestic Himalayan valley is this Tribhuvan University ground. I'm Fazal Khalil. Very good evening, all the way from Barbados. Carlos Brathwaite, welcome to the show, Carlos.
Yeah, thank you. We've watched the Kings just wither slightly. Felt as though they had a slow foundation to begin with, but something they could have worked with. Losing 2 wickets in the power play only, but
will be runs.
I think that's at the stump. The bails have lit up, but they haven't dropped. And who would be a keeper? Hit the stump and byes have gone against you.
Just a little bit of luck, perhaps, that the Biratnagar Kings need out here. 98 for 5 in the last 5 overs. How do you think they should plan these last 5 overs, Carlos? What do you think a good score on this pitch is? I did see you take a look at it. Slow, it's sluggish, it's keeping trifle low, turning a little. What do you think is a good score? And how do you think they should plan this innings from here?
Oh, that might be close. Did he plonk his bat in instead of sliding it?
We'll just wait for umpire Prageet Rambakwela, the Sri Lankan. He'll go up for technology. Like you did mention, plonked his bat in. And just take a look how close this is before I go back to my question of how they need to plan this innings. Well, he'll survive. The third umpire, or the TV umpire, the right decision, not out. Bashir Ahmed survives, and the Biratnagar live to see another day. He really played well in the previous game, got 62 of 42 deliveries. Bashir Ahmed took them to that big win, as we see the 100 coming up for the Biratnagar Kings with that single. Well, I just come back to that point that I made after this ball, Carlos. A really good bit of fielding. Yeah, so I was asking you how they need to plan their innings from here, and what do you think a good score is?
But I think they'll be looking for nothing less than 150. You get to those last 5 overs, I think 10 runs per over is the minimum. Bashir has had previous. He's had a fantastic knock last time out. He'd want to replicate that.
It's not the same pitch. We played on a fresh pitch the other evening, pitch number 4. Pitch number 7 that we're playing on, you can just see how slow the ball is coming onto the bat. We saw Faf du Plessis foxed by the slowness of the pitch. So 150, you reckon, is a good score on this pitch?
Yeah, you can fight with 150, but it's important to get bat on ball. There's the end of the 16th. They're quite away from 150, 102 for 5, the Kings.
24 legal deliveries to be bowled, and Carlos Brathwaite, you think 150 is a good score? We saw 150 being defended on this pitch. 140 odd was defended on this pitch, provided you bowl well. And in the second innings, you see a lot of dew, a hell of a lot of dew on the ground, which settles on the pitch. So I'm just presuming that the ball would come much better. You've played a lot of cricket in the night where the ball comes onto the bat because of the dew.
Yeah, and that's why I think 140 in a day game, probably you would put that as, you know, enough. If you bowl well, get early wickets, all the cliches, you can win. With it being the dew factor, I think you need those extra 10 runs, a little bit of a cushion. But what I would say is Pratish is 11 off 9 now. It is important that he doesn't miss too many balls. You know, we talk a lot about boundaries and sixes, but in the back end, you're facing those 30 balls in the last 5 overs. You need to get as much bat on ball as possible. So you supplement those boundaries with the odd 2. But rotation of strikers, right hand, left hand, that poses a challenge for the left leg spinner as well. So how can you maximize as many balls as possible, hitting the ball, not only getting boundaries?
You're looking for 2 and they'll get it quite comfortably. Need a direct hit. He's asked a question, umpire Vimla Siri. Yeah, there it is, going up to the TV umpire. Yeah. Look a lot closer. There it is, there it is. Oh geez, he's a goner. He's an absolute goner. This will tell the entire story. There it is, the bail up. From this angle, Carlos, it just looks like they're between frames here.
Yeah, between frames. But he's been given. They've seen enough. Rohit Podal again in the field. Tilak with the awareness. He took a slight step back to be able to gather it cleanly and then reach forward. That's the end of Pratish. 11 for 9, off 9. 105 for 6, the Kings.
For the first time in the tournament, the Lumbini Lions are really roaring. They have the very famed Biratnagar Kings on the mat here at 105 for 6, as we see Marshan Delang out there in the middle. Wouldn't have expected to come out this early. That's nicely struck down the ground. Bashir Ahmed, there is protection there. Just take a look at that replay again and the way the bowler collects the ball.
Yeah, I thought it was 2, but then I saw Rohit Padel hearing across the ground and thought maybe not. A good bounce throw. And Tilak, the awareness, a lot of players would have tried to come to the ball. He stood his ground and ensured that he collected it cleanly first. That is important. There's, of course, the other option of getting in front of the stump. You see keepers do that a lot, and then dragging it back, almost creating a fake direct hit. I thought Tilak did a very good job collecting and knocking the bails off.
There'll be a boundary. That'll run away. The top edge flies over this lush green outfield here at the Tribhuvan University ground. 451 boundaries for the tournament. And Bashir Ahmed and Martian DeLange, a lot of work for them to do.
Yeah, he did not intend it to go there at all, but he take it. He definitely take it. Broad shoulders, wants to give it a big whack. But showing a little bit of dexterity, and being a little cute, the big man.
That was in the slot. Slammed down the ground, but he could have gone aerial as well. He would have got the distance. Just early in the piece for Martian DeLange. And the big man, like you did say, he can hit a long ball.
Yeah, and this is another test for Bashir. How do you navigate batting with the low order and still striking powerfully?
Nicely struck. The angles are nicely covered by Rohit Podel. The Lumbini Lions have done well. The Biratnagar Kings 112 for 6 after 17. Well, it's party time out here in Kathmandu as we see the Red Bull fan zone. Refresh your Babal energy. And I've got the pronunciation absolutely spot on. Refresh your Babal energy. The new generation drink. We all enjoy it here in the commentary box. And they're really enjoying themselves out there. It is a little nippy. There is a little chill in the air. But the heat on the ground is taking care of everything for these people who've come in large numbers. We've seen some really good crowds, Carlos. I mean, especially if you see Sudha Pashchim come in. The Biratnagar Kings have a huge following here. You see the stadium, not a seat available for love or money, as we see Trumpelman coming in from the Chobar end. There is a protection. Now, I just wanted to ask you, we've seen Trumpelman bowling to the left-hander, maybe DeLange. How do you think he should go about it? We know the pitch is slow. How does he deal with someone like Trumpelman?
Well, I spoke to Trumpelman just before the game and asked him if he was using a lot of cutters yet. You know, once you're playing a long tournament at one location, the pitches will deteriorate. So I'm not sure if he's going toward the cutters just yet, but I would suggest to him, you want to keep it out of the arc of someone like a Marchand DeLange. So you want to go wide, potentially with the cutters going even wider, using that left-hand angle.
Nicely played on the bounce, yeah. So if he's bowling the cutters, and we know you're a big hitter of the cricket ball yourself in your time, what was the thinking there? Do you go deep in the crease, or you just preempt the shot? You predetermine what you're going to do?
Well, you want to start straight for sure, especially if your angle is going across. You don't want to aim with 3/4 or half of the bat. So you want to aim straight. If the pitch is gripping a lot, can you get down to him? So for me personally, it was not a good use of my feet down the pitch. So I'd start outside of the crease. Some people prefer to go deep and across. So it's very dependent on what type of player you are. If you're someone that wants the ball short, can you run at him for one delivery make him second guess his length, and when he bangs it in, then you go after him. A contentious wide called. Outside the line, yes, but Trampleman would have been saying and gesturing that Bashir moved across and the line should move with him. So I think the death bowling and batting aspects is...
There is a very fine third. The intention was to come back for 2, but sent back rightly by Bashir Ahmed. Just take a look at that wide once again. We just get the feeling that the batsman did take. But before we take a look at that wide, umpire Vimalasari has gone up to the TV umpire just to take a look at this. Looks pretty good to me. We'll see pretty shortly. Not out is the call, and that's the right one. We'll come back to that wide that you were talking about after this ball. Shot pulled away. Not very clever bowling this by Trampleman, but really good fielding by the man at deep square leg. Saved. Sandeep Johra, the fielder at deep square leg, certainly saved a couple of runs.
I actually don't mind that from Trampleman, you know, because we are sat here thinking he'll go into the hip, he'll go wide, and he's gone, you know what, I ran in from a long way, got a little bit of pace about me. Marchant de Lange, he's probably the worst person you want to answer back, but he said, have a short ball, let me mess with your feet just a little.
Very well bowled. Extremely well bowled, straight and full. Well, now let's just take a look at the wide once again. Carlos, just run us through this.
Yeah, so these red lines are guides. So if you can see, the back foot of Bashir is on the first red line, which is a little ways outside of the off stump. So the bowler would then expect that further wide line to move across with Bashir, figuratively speaking, obviously. But a good finish from Trampleman. I think that is why he bowled that short ball, just to mess with the feet of Marchant de Lange. And then he was very clinical with the last 2 deliveries, Yorker, and then pace off. 18 gone, 118 for 60 Kings.
That's a magnificent sight there. Just the canvas on which nature paints. That's that beautiful picture there. Every sunset always tells us how beautiful the ending was, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not too interested in climbing up them, but I can watch this picture all day, all night long. Simply amazing.
Just not getting a hold of it. We'll get a couple of runs. That's the question that I was trying to ask you. If Bashir goes deep in his crease, does that give him that good length ball? Just becomes a shot of good length where he can go over mid-wicket. If mid-wicket is where he's planned to hit it, or if he bowls it full, could he go over mid-off?
Yeah, but he's also gone laterally across the stumps, which kind of cramps him for room. So he may want to give himself a little bit of room, which gives his hands a little bit more time to access the ball. And then he can bang it straight down the ground like that. Good fielding again. It's been electric. But I think when you're trying to access straight and mid-wicket, it's hard to do it from a cramped position. So if you come across the crease like he did the last ball, you kind of almost get in your own way. If he gives himself a little bit of room backing away, he can go straight with the full swing of the bat, and he can also tug across because now he has the arms to get his hands all the way through.
And for those of you wondering whose voice that was, that's Carlos Brathwaite. He knows a thing or two, playing death bowling and hitting sixes in the death. There it is, beautifully struck, getting nicely inside the line of that and helping it on its way. Just mind games played here, and this time Bashir Ahmed getting the better of JJ Smith. A beautiful hit this for 6.
What I love about this shot is the acceptance of the line. He's come across again, almost cramped himself for room, but he's tried to hit it over fine leg and he was successful. Had he tried to go squarer, he could have almost fought with the line, but he's very aware of where he is with the crease, where he's aiming, and he's backing himself to go all the way for 6. There is a fine leg deep on the boundary. No boundary big enough. Watch Bashir catches on to it.
Nicely played this, beautifully struck. That'll be all 4 written all over it. It just cut through every blade of grass on this lush green Tribhuvan University ground. The crowd comes alive, Bashir Ahmed comes alive, and Biratnagar get into the 130s.
This is supreme batsmanship. He walked across, accessed leg stump, and once that offside fielder came up from the boundary, he's now given himself room and played one of the classiest cover drives we'll see all night long. This is high cricket IQ on show by Bashir. It's not only power, it's a level of thinking going into the way he's planning his batting, the way he's executing his strokes. It's such a good watch. I want him to face both of these deliveries. Even if it goes to long on, decline the single, make this your big over.
Decline the single. Nicely struck once again in the gap, but there is protection this time in the deep. We'll get the single. So 1 ball to contend with for Marshant de Lange. You should just tell him, have a go at it. If you can get a boundary or 6, you've done your job.
Yeah, free hit for Marshant de Lange. Probably makes a little bit more sense than my suggestion because he's hitting to the shorter side, leg side. Not sure if JJ Smith will give him the length to go through the leg side. But I love to see Bashir ensure that he bats the majority of the last over. Yes, you can turn 2 or 3 singles down and then get out. That's the risk you take. But on the flip side, you can also decline 1 single, and you can then go on to hit 3 or 4 sixes, and that could change, even win the game for the Kings.
Well, you're absolutely right. The last over could perhaps decide which way this game could go. If the Biratnagar Kings have a really big last over, then the Lumbini Lions are in trouble. Whereas if the Lumbini Lions can have a good over, they'll consider themselves that they've restricted the Biratnagar Lions to a good score. Not the greatest of thinking. They take the single, 19 done, 134 for 6. Well, just a huge last over, 16 runs of it. Can they have 1 more over of 16 runs? Marshant de Lange on strike. Maybe facing up to Ruben Trumpelman from the Chobar Hills end. Slow delivery, just take the single. Bashir Ahmed says, thank you very much, I'll have the next 5 balls.
I just wonder how much of that in the last ball of the 19th over was a little bit of international player versus a young local player. Because I'm thinking if it was a Pollard or a Russell, and obviously their stature in the game is a lot different to young Bashir's, but they would have held the hand up and said, Marshant de Lange, you hold the end, I want to bat 6 balls. And it's a level of awareness that he will get and experience that he will learn. And folks, he can get this delivery. He's not Superman. But you're talking about percentages and probabilities. He's 28 off 18. He just come off a brilliant match-winning knock. You want him to bat as many deliveries in this last over as possible. even helps with it being the leg side to the short side.
Three fielders are boundary riders on the leg side. Ruben Trumpelman to Bashir Ahmed. Oh, straight to the man at third man. A big moment this in the game. The Biratnagar Kings lose their top gun. Bashir Ahmed, after doing a little bit of damage, departs. They'll be really happy. Tilak, the fielder there. Trumpelman will be a very happy man.
This is great execution from Trumpelman. He's gone on that wide line. He's gone around the wicket firstly to increase the angle across him. A nice little cameo from Bashir Ahmed. He's gone for 28 off 19. 135 for 7, the Kings.
Sahil Patel is the new man in to join Marshan De Lange for these last 4 legal deliveries. Trumpelman. We'll just take a look at why Sahil Patel is out there in the middle.
Yeah, look at that angle. Left-hander going around the wicket at the left-hander, aiming for that wide line. And he nailed it, absolutely nailed it. And Bashir Ahmed would have thought, if they get it over, that's a boundary. And spotlight on Tilak. A nice grab. Not the easiest catch from that angle. They held it comfortably.
In the slot, just over extra cover. Well, this is not great thinking from Marshan De Lange. He's taken the couple of runs. He should have held on for the last 2 deliveries.
Yeah, so I don't want to say it's new age thinking, but I think you look at maximizing deliveries and how many balls can the in batter or more powerful batter bat to be able to change the game with boundaries.
In the air, it's gone miles in the air. Will it land in no man's land? Yes, it does. They've come back for 2, and that'll be out. Very easy dismissal for the wicketkeeper. And now the Biratnagar Kings have lost the wicket of Sahil Patel to the run out as well.
Yeah, coming back for 2, injudicious. It was high. Sahil didn't seem to get away for that first run quickly and made the second one a bit of a challenge, not even in the frame when the bails came off. You just wonder. Marshan De Lange has only faced 1 ball in this over so far. Sahil Patel gone. He faced 3 of them. 138 for 8.
Sandeep Lamachane on strike for the last delivery of the innings. What can he do? Swings that away. Has gone all the way. Sandeep Lamachane, you little beauty, has come in there and whacked the last ball over square leg for a huge hit. The much needed 6. 10 runs of the over, 2 wickets in it, and a good end for the Biratnagar Kings. 144 for 8. Perhaps they will consider themselves that they've got a decent score on the board. Well, that was also the Siddhartha Bank maximum of the match. There it is.
Yeah, what a good strike. Clear mind. Last ball, maximize it, and maximize it he did. powerful striking. We spoke about 140 being okay, talk about 150 being the target, and they've gone somewhere in the middle. 145 to get for the Lions. They'd feel they did a good job. On this wicket, they'll feel that slightly below par. And the Kings would be enthralled with the finish. Lokesh Bam, a nice 35. He'd like that at a better clip. Sam Hislett 27, they had a nice partnership. Bashir Ahmed again, nice little cameo, 28 for him. And Sandeep Lamichan at the
bowling well at the back end, 1 for 24. They'll consider themselves having done a good job here, restricting a very strong Biratnagar batting lineup to 144 for 8. Well, I've always believed, Carlos, that you break it up into 3 bits, 1 to 6, 34 for 2. They did well, 64, 62 in the, and they just lost 3 wickets. But that back end, they didn't have too many wickets, too many batsmen out there to make use of those last 5 overs, just the 48. Well, we've all been enjoying ourselves out here in Kathmandu, and Jess Crow is down ringside with someone very special. Take it away, Jess.
I'm here mid-innings, joined by Sher Mala. Sher, we meet again. We can't stop having these interviews because you keep consistently performing. 3 for 25 for you today. That was outstanding. How was it out in the middle?
Yeah, today wicket was a little bit tricky to help to bowlers. So I trying to good areas, especially top 3 very dangerous batsmen in opponent. So I trying to note room and trying to bowl to stumps, finish to in the stumps. So wicket really helped, and I'm happy.
And let's touch more on those conditions then. How do they support you as a spinner?
Yeah, little bit ball turning. So hopefully next inning trying to coming due and help my team. So let's see.
And coming back from some impressive performances from yourself in the previous matches, how much confidence did that fill you with stepping onto the field today?
Actually, NPL started after I preparation too good and my training. So actually I trying to my best in my team. So I'm happy to my performance.
And entering the back stages of the competition now, all to play for. Is there any added pressure with that, and how do you deal with it?
So today's match is very important for Lumbini Lions. So actually do and die match. So maybe upcoming playoffs matches, and so this match very important for team. So hopefully this match win and upcoming next round.
Confident chasing the score?
Yeah, I'm confident to my batsmen. So, yeah.
Excellent, always going to be confident. Well, great work again, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Back to comes.
Well, thank you very much. Just they came out with a lot of expectations. Lost Muncy very early in the piece for a duck. And Faf du Plessis played a couple of shots down the ground, but didn't look comfortable at all. Played that one off the back foot, beaten by the slowness of the pitch. That was a big moment in the innings. And then Hislett came out there along with Lokesh Bam. Looked really good. Some couple of very good hits by the southpaw Hislett, and some very good shots by the right-handed Lokesh Bam, until he just caused his own downfall. A little rush of blood. And then Hislett carried on his merry way. And then that was the LBW of Narayan, very adjacent. And immediately Hislett departed as well. And that's when the Biratnagar Kings were in trouble.
Yeah, they took a partnership from Pratish and Bashir. They steadied the ship. Then this happened. Good work from Tilak, rope pedal. Live wire, absolute live wire in the field. Then Bashir got into his work, set a good foundation, got a couple away, and then he departed as well. Trumpelman with a fantastic finish. His final 2 overs pulled the game back in the favour of the Lions. Had some help in the field, and then Sandeep Lamichhane had a little drama at the end with a massive 6.
Never short of drama when Sandeep Lamichhane is on the park. When the Lumbini Lions come out to bat, they need 145 of their allotted 20 overs. That's 7.25 runs to the over. We'll take a very short break, and on the other side, it'll be live action in the run chase in this match 22.
What an occasion under the floodlights again. It's a sold-out crowd here at the Tribhuvan University International
practice pitches. A couple of nights ago, I had introduced you to the new trends and technologies from the PCR as well. And today I thought it's very important on our behalf to acquaint you and get you closer to how these things work as well in live simulation mode. First up, we'll begin with the field plot. The field plot is the fair indication of what's the kind of field being set for a particular bowler and batter. To the left of your screen at the bottom, you will see a nice grid over here that shows dots, and these dots indicate that these are the fielders positioned for this particular over and batter. It keeps changing depending on how the captain and the bowler wants it to be. Very simple explanation. Not often you get to see the full ground and where the fielders are set. This gives you a bird's eye view of where the fielders are set. Talking about the fielders and the field setting as well in a particular game, the next technology that I'm going to introduce you is the player length between two fielders, particularly inside the 30-yard circle. I have two volunteers in Imal and Aditya, one positioned at square leg, one positioned at short fine. Now, interestingly, when these fielders move, the length also changes. This is a variable length depending on where the fielders are positioned, but it all happens in real time. If I can ask Imal to move to his left, keep moving to your left, keep coming closer to me, keep coming closer to me. Yeah, there you can see the length also keeps changing. So what it does is, it just gives the batter also an idea what's the distance between the gap, how big it has gotten, and also an idea to the captain and the bowler as to where the fielders are positioned at that point in time. Yeah, makes it very interesting, right? Just enhances the viewership too. Next up, we get to the spotlight. Now, once you're in the middle and you have the performances going, you have a nice little cone on you that just comes across, and it just highlights your performance, your name, your contribution. Sometimes for a batter, it's a strike rate or anything that just enhances and tells the viewer that this man's making an impact in the middle and he's been around for a while. Just to give that extra bit of information if you've not been following the other graphics and scores as well, just to say that this is what he's been doing so far for a very short period of time. That's it. You can take a look at this cone. Nicely, I'm standing underneath it. If I'm the batter, there it is, and this is how it happens. All right. Then we have the last introduction, which is called the six tracker. Now, it really makes the experience breathtaking when you see the ball sailing into the stands, but what really adds to its visual value is the way the tracker just comes along and creates an arc and trajectory to give a very colorful look to that six as well. Sometimes it can be a catch too, but it gives probably a fair imagination of how far the ball traveled, how high the ball traveled, and at the same time, what's the kind of trajectory and curve it came down to as well. I'll certainly be trying that at some point in time to show you that as well. I'll quickly pull a bat for myself and see if I can get one going. I'm asking somebody to bowl. I just hope I can clear one. Not done it for a very long time. Here I go. There you could see it. I gave that some whack, and I'll tell you it's not easy batting at this stage and age of my life at least, but we keep talking about he's got the height and he's got the distance. This ball tracker gives you that kind of a trajectory as well. Well, I've really enjoyed bringing all of this to you. I hope you've enjoyed all the new introductions of the technology this season. Trust me, it makes viewing breathtaking.
Absolutely brilliant, Mikhail Vaswani, with the exception of one thing, that miss hit, the one you clothed, it would have been caught in the deep. I think that would have been a first bowler for you, Mikhail, and I would have taken great pleasure in describing your dismissal if you were out there. Okay, we're all set. We're on a used surface, remember, so this total of 144, depending upon the dew factor out there this evening, might be competitive. Maybe it's a slight edge to the Lions at the halfway stage, but it's kind of hard to say as to who's going to win this game. We could be in for a real thriller under the floodlights. Andrew Leonard here alongside HD Ackerman. How do you assess that first innings, mates? And is that six from the final ball from Sandeep Lambachani maybe quite an important moment?
I think it's a very important moment just to go over that 130 mark, get it into the 140s. I do think that the surface is a little bit on the slow side, and there's certainly some turn there. Sumit Maharajan will be walking in first up in support of Darcy Short. The Western Australian hasn't managed to get off to a quick start yet, but that's the instruction, and that's what my instruction would be to the Lions. Try and utilize these front six, particularly Marchant Langa, because he gives you the pace that I think you need on this pitch. Wonderful T20 career that Darcy Short has, with the best of 122. I think Lambachani might be difficult to play against. And history of, when I say history, of the last couple of weeks, what we've worked out though is that the dew comes in about halfway through this innings now. So wickets in hand are important for those last 10 overs. You can chase anything in the last 10.
They'll have to survive or possibly attack the opening salvo from this man, because he is fast, he is fearsome, and he is a quality operator, is big Marchant de Lange. Fantastic sight with a completely packed house this evening, and a big smile from de Lange, who's going to take the new ball to Darcy Short. Oh, beauty, an absolute beauty. It misses everything. What a start. Some movement under the floodlights.
He does have the ability to swing it back into the left-hander, but this nips away significantly. That's a corker. His reaction, every ball suggests he's taken a wicket. Marchant de Lange.
Not even near that one, Darcy Short. A couple of great reactions from Faf du Plessis as well. And Darcy Short says, what can I do? How can I play that? I'm doing well to play and miss.
Well, it's doing a little bit under the lights.
So enjoyed his attitude throughout this season. That's not the right line and going to be given as a wide down the leg side. I was talking to him this morning. He was explaining how he hasn't been just invigorated by the crowds, but because of his personal journey, particularly the last 3 years with injuries, he is seeing this as a massive opportunity to show why he's still of value in the white ball game and to other leagues around the world.
I mentioned earlier on in the piece that he's still striving for bigger and better things. That's another beauty. When I say bigger and better and things, he just doesn't want his career to end now. Marchant de Lange, and if he bowls like this, it's a long way from finished.
He told me that great story about even Ricky Ponting, who there's a shade of in the reaction there from Darcy Short. A little bit of a lucky there. As Ricky Ponting was talking about playing against de Lange in a warm-up game for a test series down in South Africa, every Australian said he was the fastest bowler that they'd faced. And with pace on comes about run scoring opportunities. Great piece of fielding. Bashir Ahmed does really well and very nearly turns what could have been a boundary into a run-out opportunity. Short had to get going.
This is the sort of length that Short is waiting for. The ball that's pitched up. Yeah, when he first burst on the scene, he wasn't medium pace. Let me tell you, he was up high 140s, touching 150s. But then he had some debilitating injuries, which made that speed gun just drift south a little bit. On his day, he can still get it through.
Crunched, and a marvellous diving stop. 3 runs saved. And every run in the defence of this chase is going to be critical. Subhash Bandari does really well.
Very good stop. The hands will be warm now, Bandari.
What an imposing challenge for Sumit Maharjan, facing up to pace and quality of de Lange. I'm not sure it's the best idea to further anger the big man. He just says, "Are you all right, Sumit? Are you ready for this?" And smiles all around. Like to see that.
Well, I think that the umpires weren't privy to the view that we had, in that de Lange was walking down the wicket with a big smile on his face. And I think the crowd and the officials thought that there was some seriousness going on, but all in good faith.
Fuller short. Short goes miles up into the sky. No one gets there. Can't quite describe the stroke for you. And the end result's going to be a single as Marjan survives somehow. It's 5 for none. That's a glorious sight, isn't it? We described this as the closing week of the competition in terms of establishing our 4 playoff sides. It's very likely the Kings will be there alongside the Gorkas, and we know the Royals are already in. But the Kings would qualify for certain and further increase their chances of being one of the top 2 sides who'll have 2 chances getting to that grand final. You do have to wrap up if you're coming to the floodlit games, but the atmospheres have been unforgettable. And I believe tomorrow is a sellout. I know Saturday's already sold out. That's sold out in 11 minutes. There are tickets available for Friday and Sunday, but that's it. As an interesting call here from Sandeep Lamachani. He's going to show faith in Pratish GC and hope that he can get a little bit of movement back into the right-hander rather than open with spin. This is clothed again. Well, Maharjan has faced 2 balls. He could have been out twice. That final ball of the previous over, well, what was he doing here?
It's almost as if they've thrown him to the wolves here. I think he was expecting a bouncer. Meanwhile, it was up to the bat, got away with it, got away with the next delivery as well. Now, this is going to be an interesting contest because I think Darcy Short will want to try and get after Pratish GC.
I know a harp on about it. That's the spirit of cricket there. There's not a single ounce of nastiness in any way. It's all in good nature, in good faith, in good fun. Great scenes between De Lange and Maharjan. Pulled into the gap, but off the toe of the bat. Now, du Plessis is not someone you want to take on. Maybe 40 years young. 41 now, isn't he? But he keeps himself in impeccable condition. We heard Carlos Brathwaite talking about his slow motion running videos on social media.
Visualize Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible.
A little bit of movement back in, but pitched outside leg can't be given out. It has been special the last couple of evenings, isn't it? Jason Roy, World Cup winner in the house. Dawid Malan in the runs yesterday. Faf du Plessis in. Can't beat a bit of stardust.
Yeah, and it was nice to see Dawid Malan sort of get around how the surfaces are playing and put on a big score like that. And you hope that du Plessis can find his feet quickly as well, because he's a joy to watch in this form of the game, how he puts an innings together. It'll be an education for everyone.
He's mistiming everything right now, Sumit Maharjan. Has he been sent in to just try and have a slog to go at it rather than Sandeep Jura?
Might very well be the case. The only thing here, though, is that while these seamers are on, you want Short to be playing against them as much as possible, because this is what he's accustomed to. Pace on. Once the spinners come on, it'll be something that he won't really enjoy if there is turn and slowness to the surface.
Looks like the 2 padded up are Dikwela and Powdell. Again, I think this is pitched outside leg. Might have been a bit of bat involved as well. Good from Pratish GC though. I think it might depend upon whether the left-hander gets out or the right-hander gets out as to whether it will be Dikwela or Powdell at 3 or 4. Yeah, pitches outside leg, bat into pad. Nothing going for it. Missing leg 2. Good over, really good from Pratish GC, because he has been the weak link occasionally in this attack. 8 for 9. Great atmosphere. We saw a lovely banner from some of the fans welcoming Faf du Plessis. See messages all over social media, some great memes, people saying, I've watched Faf du Plessis for 13 years in the IPL. I never thought we would see him in Kathmandu. And look at this place. It is packed to the rafters. Not a single seat available. This is the only show in town. And look at that. Lovely to see that. Captain, leader, legend. Welcome Faf du Plessis with respect and love from the RCB Fan Club Nepal. I think there's over 100 from a Royal Challengers Bangalore support team come in. Short leg in place. Shot. Bit of width on offer. Doesn't really get into line. Doesn't matter. 4 runs.
Done well here. This is when you got to take full toll here during when the ball's coming onto the bat. Not going to get easier.
Don't see too many short legs in T20 cricket. Oh, somehow survives. You cannot take your eyes off Delanga to Marjan. It's a 3-part drama. And the two of them are jousting.
Delanga thinks this is going back at him rather quickly. He almost ducks, then thinks, oh, hang on, there's a catch. Neither happens.
Or bold. He'll want something to work with, whether it's full or short. That's a good tight line from Delanga.
I think he's been very impressive over the course of this tournament. Delanga, he might have gone for a few in 1 or 2 of their fixtures, but he's been a wicket-taking threat. And he's bowled well up front. If anything, he's gone towards the back end of his spell. Always in the wickets, always offering.
Excellent. They're going to run the single and they'll get home comfortably enough. We were talking off air, but just in the innings break, HT, about how we felt that the Lions needed to get ahead of the rate in the first 6. They are wicketless, that's important. But would you like to see them go a bit harder?
History tells you it's going to get a little difficult. Outside that power play, the ball will spin. Lamachani never goes for many. He's having a much better NPL season than what he had last season. So you could sort of expect him to go around that 24 runs mark. So someone has got to go.
Over the head of short leg. I have no idea how Maharjan is still there against Delanga. Well, this has been a great tussle. Unmissable viewing here at the TU.
I'll tell you what, that's brave. I'm not sure I'd be getting on bended knee and trying to sweep Marchant Delanga. Not in this mood.
He's 24 years of age. Plays under Owen Powdell at the Armed Police Force team in domestic cricket here. Came through the same under-16s as Asif Sheikh too. That's a good stroke. I think he might have looked for the cutter here, Delanga, and placed through extra cover expertly for 4. It's 19 for none. It was a poor start for the Kings in the first innings on a pitch that turned and proved difficult to play on. having got halfway through the power play without losing a wicket. You wonder, will they target Pratish GC this over? Shorter leg side boundary for the right-hander. Mahajan's been sent in to go at it. Deep backward square in place. Deep third, the other man out. Bit of movement, bit of swing down the leg side. That'll be a wide. Just think of the bowling options for the Kings. Obviously, we know Lamachani will bowl 4. Heaslett maybe to offer some left arm spin. And then I wonder will Subhash Bandari get his go tonight. Played the other day, didn't bowl the off spinner. Bashir Ahmed, the other one with some left arm spin too.
Well, the one thing we're sure not to see is 8 bowlers or 7 bowlers like we have in other games.
Yeah, I think your bankers are Delanga, Pratish GC, Sandeep Lamachani, no doubt about that. But then, well, Nari and Josh, you can bowl a few little medium pacers, but it's probably a combination of Bashir Ahmed, Sam Heaslett with those left arm spinners as well. I did see George Munsey bowling in the warm-up, and that sums up possibly how weak the bowling stocks are. His 4 overs will be key, Lamachani. Will take on the single, Lamachani. Oh, would have been interesting.
Attacks it beautifully from mid-on. It's just what you want from your fielders at long off and long on, is not to just stand on your heels and wait for the ball. Attack it, and Lamachani does that. He says, this is mine, I want the run out. It would have been very tight.
I think it would have been really close. The problem was that the throw got a bit large, and with the slightly dewy ball that can happen. Yeah, split screen, maybe just home. Really well here, Pratish GC. His lengths have been impeccable. Darcy Short says, go on then, throw it some.
He's been involved in a few skirmishes, Pratish GC, over the course of the last few weeks. But that's good. There's no room to work with there for the left-hander. It's gun barrel straight at off stump. If he goes wider than off stump, Short will let his hands go. If he gets it in and around leg stump, he'll flip it over the leg side.
Pulled away, pulled powerfully. You just sensed something was going to happen. Only a fraction short, but Darcy Short pounces upon it and gets his second boundary.
I'm not sure of the personality of Darcy Short, but more often than not, you don't want to engage Australians in a contest because they thrive.
Yeah, they love a tussle, they love the fight, they love an arm wrestle.
It's funny that, isn't it? I mean, the great Steve Waugh, him saying that if he didn't find as though, if he found as though he was struggling to middle the ball or something, he would actually say, I'm going to pick a fight. He would say to his partner, I'm going to pick a fight. I need to get into this contest. I don't feel as though I'm in the contest.
I look around the field, I'll find someone and I'll say something to them, and I'm going to go at them. And maybe not the best way to do it, but whatever gets you going. And certainly I'd agree with you. I think Darcy Short looks like you don't want to engage him into that arm wrestle. Second man goes out on the deep on the leg side, deep mid wicket and deep square leg in place. So he goes down the ground, he'll get 4, just a punch. Lions have started brightly, 29 for none. Lions well ahead, looking comfortable, and remember all their runs this season have really come from Rohit Powdell. The occasional contribution, Dikwela played well the other day. But the challenge is surely going to be spin, with the surface that we have. And we are going to see Subhash Bandari get his opportunity. He was part of that Nepal under-19s crop that you and I were commentating on down in South Africa. That famous victory in East London over Afghanistan. I think he was in at the end. I think he might have hit the winning runs.
I'm not sure how you knew hit the winning runs. You were under the table when you were calling that final delivery, if I remember correctly.
The drama was off the charts, wasn't it? Legendary game down in East London. I just have a sneaking suspicion it might have been Bandari that hit those winning runs. I'll tell you in a moment. The ball is off breaks. The reason he's been brought in is because of the left-hander out there, but he's not on strike. And he's struck. First ball, that'll do nicely. It's a nothing shot, isn't it? No turn and offer, skids on, and the Kings strike back. Bandari's first ball of the season is a wicket.
It may be a nothing shot, but this is the reason why he was sent in. For him to take it on, it hasn't worked out well. He's missed that by a mile. Good bit of bowling from around the wicket, just goes on with the angle. And the Kings have their first one. Sumit Maharajan goes for 10. It's 29 for 1.
Rohit Paudel it is to the crease because of the fact, I believe, that the right-handed batter, Sumit Maharajan, was the one that was dismissed. So the skipper will send himself to the crease. After Ravi Bopara, nobody in the history of this tournament has made more runs. He's the second leading run scorer across the 2 seasons. Hasn't quite done it at the strike rate that we would have felt as though he is capable of. Listen to that roar, very popular cricketer. And lots of Lions fans will be relying upon their skipper to guide this chase. He'll need to play the anchor role as Bandari's tail is up. There is something working in the grey matter, HD, because I'm going to look at the replay first. You like this piece of bowling?
I don't mind around the wicket. Just that angle. If it turns, it challenges the front pad. If it doesn't, they've always had a little slip in place there, Faf du Plessis. So I don't mind this angle. I think it's a real attacking angle to bowl for the off spinner.
Good piece of glove work too by Sahil Patel. Very nice. Yeah, certainly something working in the grey matter, because it was Subhash Bandari that hit those winning runs. And Tilak Bandari was at the other end. He didn't face. If I remember correctly, there was a run out at the non-striker's end attempted by Afghanistan to add to the drama. And yeah, Bandari was the hero. I'll never forget watching Dev Canal on the sidelines in that game. He got out for 58. He could barely watch. He felt as though he'd let his side down. 7th wicket to fall, but they did scramble over the line by 1 wicket. As Paudel goes up, could this be a chance? Fielder goes back, taken! It's Faf du Plessis who has the catch, has the big wicket. Bandari's got 2. Rohit Paudel's gone for a duck.
What about this for a catch? An all-round cricketer. He makes that look a lot easier than it actually was. And he is now officially welcomed to Nepal. Massive wicket. Paudel goes without scoring. The Lions 29 for 2.
What a roar we just heard at the TU, because the icon that is Faf du Plessis has taken a spectacular catch. That's got to go into our best catches package, no doubt about that. And look at the smile. He's loving every bit of it, apart from maybe the bit of whiplash that he got as he hit the ground. Sandeep Jura to the crease.
Good for the captaincy, though, because Faf du Plessis was actually at slip for the first 2 deliveries and then was sent out.
Powell took the bait, didn't he? And he said, OK, I'll go up and over the offside, but didn't get near it. Pressure on the Lions. And he felt the challenge was going to come from the spinners. Francois du Plessis, 41 years young. How good is this?
Well, he's obviously fielded under lights before, because it never had an effect on him. Turned, backpedaled, found it, and then thought, hang on, this outfield is a little harder than I expected. There is protection down at long on. Does well. Shantalanga in the deep. And so they get through for 2. End of 5, a very eventful over that one. 31 for 2.
the 6th over for the Lumbini Lions, proving to be the best, 15 coming off it. And how quickly the momentum has shifted. In the 5th, 2 wickets fell. In the 6th, 15 overs came by. And the Lions just keeping pace with their asking rate. It's under just a little over 7, so you want to believe you have things under control, Carlos. It's going to be Bhandari into his second. 2 for 2 in his first. What a start he's had. Not many off-spinners we see in the T20 format these days. A heartening sight to see an off-spinner making an impact very early, Carlos.
Yeah, finger spin. Still revered around the world. The Ashwins, Nathan Lyons, Marvin Nabi for me has been one of the better white ball finger spinners. Looks traditional, looks run of the mill sometimes, but the subtle changes of pace, length and line often does batsmen some of the best in the world, and Bhandari seems to have that as a trait as well.
Ambitious, was it drifting down leg? Ramba Kuela wears a cheeky grin, says let's move on boys. They've been inspirational in the field, the Biratnagar Kings, on their toes.
Yeah, again, just sliding in with the angle, a little bit of extra bonks. He's been very consistent.
Yes, 5 overs of pace. Ideally, you'd want to believe there's a lot of help for spinners. We'll take a look at that catch once again. Your thoughts?
Yeah, this is why you get international players in. Faf du Plessis, you know what he brings with the bat. But in the field, even at 40 odd, he's a live wire. And when you bring international players to your tournament, you want them to set a certain standard. If you have a Faf du Plessis dropping catches like those, not hearing around the field, the younger guys think you don't need to be at that level of intensity to make it like he did. And you know that's a myth. So him being in and amongst the dressing room, showing them how he lives his life off the field, how he prepares during training sessions, how he eats, if he visualizes, what do you do? It's so amazing to be able to pick the brains of international players. And I think back to when I played my first CPL, Martin Guptill, someone who I love to watch from afar. I was able to rub shoulders with him, albeit against him. And a few years later, we played with each other. And I remember once I made the test squad, I could then reach out to him. You know, he almost as close as a friend. So you have this real nice set of trends where you play franchise cricket, you see these guys on the TV, you absolutely adore them as cricketers, but then you're able to rub shoulders with them and understand them as people. And I think that is what franchise cricket and cricket itself brings to the world. And you know, I've been fortunate to play a while, and that's one story of Martin Guptill, but there are loads more. I'm just so happy that there will be a nice young cohort of Nepal cricketers that would have that opportunity. End of 7, 48 for 2.
And another fun evening here in Kirtipur, Nepal. I'll tell you what, Biratnagar Kings in action, Lumbini Lions fighting hard, and it's a full house because both these teams have huge support. And believe you me, Carlos as well, just wondering, maybe I could have found a seat for myself somewhere in the crowd over there.
There are no available seats. You have to wait till someone goes for a drink and steal the seat and get amongst the action.
Hold on to your place. That's because Sandeep Lamichhane is in action. Immediate turn for him. Great effort there by Faf du Plessis. 41 years young. This man's work ethic shows in the field every now and then. Look at that for reflex and commitment.
Yeah, and he saved, you'd think it would have been 4 byes. Just spun past the keeper and cat-like reflexes from du Plessis. That's what I mentioned. You got someone like him, his stature in the game, what he's done for South African cricket and world cricket. And here he is running back and diving, catching and springboarding to save boundaries. He'll no doubt also add leadership capacity. We see him there giving instruction. It's going to be so amazing for the people of Nepal, for the youngsters in Nepal, to learn from guys like this. And this is why I wanted to experience the Nepal Premier League, and so far I'm impressed.
Nicely played. The good news here for the Lumbini Lions is that shot is looking really good in the middle. And the 50 comes up courtesy that single. A couple of days ago, weeks ago, there was a visual of Faf du Plessis shirtless training and going through his working drills. He put all the middle-aged men to shame and just gave them a seed of a thought to ponder upon. Carlos.
Well, that inspired me to go running the next day, and I put my sprinting alongside his, and literally I was going as fast as I could, but it looked slow-mo. It looked like super slow-mo, and I tagged him, and when he saw me today, he chuckled about it. He's in fine form. He was always lean, always real proud in how he takes care of his body, and he was always electric across the field, and he hasn't lost it even with age.
Yeah, he's just pushing the limits. Tossed up, picked up, played towards the cow corner region. They'll push for two, they'll settle for one. I want to believe this game is really in the balance at this stage, Carlos.
Yeah, that required run rate creeping up to 7 3/4. They want to have a look at that. Darcy Short is so important. Him and Niroshan Dikwela. We think if you can blunt Sandeep Lamichan, it will be a left-hander with his leg spin. You can't just see him off. You don't want that required run rate to get up to 9s and 10s too quickly.
Sandeep Lamichan giving the chase, wants to keep it to 1. Darcy Short will keep strike for over number 9. Quiet start here. 4 runs coming off at 52 for 2. Great game panning out this evening at the Tribhuvan University International Cricket Stadium. Game day 15, match number 22. A win for the Kings will guarantee a spot in the top 4. The Lions missed the cut today. Mathematically, they still remain in the contest and equation, but it doesn't matter to all of them. All they need is some music, good cricket on offer, and they turn up in large numbers. Subhash Bhandari being continued into his third, 2 wickets in his first. Yeah. Partnerships is the key.
Yeah, 100%. Sometimes you get in the middle, and Darcy Short would have played a couple of dots, a couple of singles, and you can feel that the walls are closing in. But the bigger picture is, if you are there in 3, 4, 5 overs and you start to get a move on, you get to your 50 off, 35, 36 deliveries, let's say, you've set your team up for a real good platform, a real good springboard for the middle order to come win the game.
Yeah, he goes long. But that's in the gap. Works for the fielder long on. He'll not be able to cut it off. The big man, Marchand Delanga, does a good job, but in the end, the ball wins the race. And against a run of play, a much-needed boundary here for the Lumbini Lions.
Smart cricket. The matchup is in the favour of Jora. And he's picked the gap nicely. Marchand Delanga diving in vain. The Lions need to be very smart about how they go about this middle phase. You don't want to repeat what the Kings did and end up with not enough wickets in hand to capitalise on the back end.
Swept fine. Straight to Sandeep. This is going to be a close one. Good running, good calling. Yeah, just the right time to head across to the sidelines. We believe Jess has someone alongside her. Whom do you have, Jess?
I'm joined here by JJ Smith. JJ, an excellent performance from the team all round tonight. What have you made of it so far?
Yeah, we bowled really well today. I think we stick to our plans. In the team meeting, we said we're going to stick to our plans, and I think we did it well. Yeah, and the batting is going good so far. I think we should just keep batting and then just normal batting and we'll get there.
Excellent. And picking up a wicket yourself, how did you find the conditions were playing tonight?
Yeah, it was a bit slow at the start. Myself and Ruben said the cutters are working well, and then towards the end the cutters didn't work as well as at the start. So yeah, just conditions are good for batting now.
Coming back from an excellent victory last match as well, was there any sort of shift in mindset stepping onto the field today that you've taken away from last match?
Yeah, I think shot. I think we didn't really change our mindset. We were positive throughout the 3 losses we had back to back. So I think we stayed positive, and like the coaching staff were really positive. The skipper is really positive. The senior players were positive. Gulbadin was really positive all the time. So I think we just stuck with our mindset, a winning mindset, and hopefully that helps tonight.
Great work. All the best for you and the team.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Back to comms.
Yeah, thank you, Jess. JJ Smith believes conditions are good to bat in. The cutters did work early on, and the last hit from the bat of Jora suggests that the ball is coming nicely onto the bat at the moment. And smart cricket. A dot to finish over number 9, 13 coming off it. The Lions are finding a move on, 65 for 2. The Lions need 1866. That Worm's making a steady climb, a couple of blips, but the aim is to just stay above that blue worm if they have to get home. Carlos Brathwaite sitting alongside me, enjoying every bit of what's unfolding in the middle. Yeah, the Lions fielded first. As the fielding side, when you have the first bite of the cherry with the ball in the field, how much do you try to read the surface knowing that you'll have to come out there and chase?
No, good teams have really good communication. So you're walking off, you may see a Darcy Short ask a question, or sometimes the bowlers would come. How JJ Smith just said the cutters weren't working. That maybe alludes to a bit of dew on the surface.
That's been given. The wrong one. Jora didn't pick it up. And Sandeep Lamichhane, as always, amongst wickets very early in his spell. He just got that ball quickly onto the batter there. And Sandeep Jora, after a promising innings, will have to walk back.
Yeah, I wasn't sure at first, but on the replay, it looks pretty straight, and you can see the passion from Sandeep Lamichhane. He knows he will be the match winner with the ball if they are to go on to win. The Kings, Jora, promising, but it's only a cameo. 24-15, 66 for 3.
Yeah, a bit of a break, and this will also mean that we'll be heading into our expert education strategic timeout. compelled to ask a question here to Carlos Brathwaite as well. For the kind of vibe, energy, music and dance, can we compare it to the Caribbean flavor as well? Because we see a lot of that.
Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. Very close, very close. We're missing some traditional Caribbean music, soca or calypso. We call calypso in Barbados, soca in Trinidad. But I have been loving the vibes. Been loving watching the fans, enjoying and dancing to the vibes as well. It's a little fresh, it's a little chilly. So easy to be consumed by the weather, but no, they're enjoying the cricket, they're enjoying the vibes, and we salute you, we're enjoying watching you as well.
We talk about the nip in the air, being a bit chilly, but you don't have a jacket on, Carlos.
I'm staying indoors.
He's getting appreciable turn. Oh, Sandeep Lamichhane had a question or two. He's not happy with that decision. He believed there was something on the way to the wicket keeper. But Ravindra Vimalasiri says that's so wide. Got to move on with the game. Umpires have done a fine job all through the tournament.
Yeah, probably a wide. Close enough, and when you get a full head of steam, the emotions and the passions get the best of you, but I think that's a good call.
Yeah, we have the MCC Spirit of Cricket Award as well in this competition. Teams will have to also ensure that they uphold the spirit of the game in the middle.
I won't be a hypocrite. I don't think I would have won that too many times. You
have that in the back of your mind when you're playing there, when the emotions are running high.
Yeah, once you cross the white line, it's all about winning that game of cricket. And it's fair, you never want to show young children the bad side of the game, losing your emotions and whatnot. But I guess the way I'd put it is, if I'm an owner of a team or a fan, I'd much prefer to see players playing with emotion, playing with passion. Even if they overstep a couple of times, you get reprimanded, versus guys just turning up and showing no emotion and just going through the motions. But there is a line that is drawn, and you should respect it.
Yeah, he's just releasing the ball so well all through this competition, Sandeep Lamichhane. He's been on the leaderboard as well, the first or the second leading wicket taker.
Yeah, he's remarkable. One ball short of 2 overs, 1 for 7. He's definitely making his mark and stamping his authority.
Another good over. 4 runs and a wicket in this. Things are getting tight in the chase here for the Lumbini Lions. At the halfway stage, their asking rate is a little over 7.5, 69 for 3. with Subhash Bhandari. So we're going to have to see a fifth bowler introduced sooner rather than later, and Narayan Joshi, it will be with his medium pacers. Don't think either of the left-handers will mind this at all. I'm just not sure whether they've got enough bowling options in this side to restrict the Lions, who are at the moment roaring home. Required run rates is 7s. If these two can just bat for 4 or 5 overs, it could be all over Red Rover. Don't rule out a twist or turn, particularly with 2 overs of Lamachani left, but he's holding himself back.
Well, just take a look at this 6. It was all timing, it was all class, and it was a lot of Sangakkara in that shot from Niroshan Dikuela. It comes from the Emerald Isle, and how well did he play that? When he hit it, he knew instantly that it had gone all the way. Just get the feeling, Andrew, that life's becoming a little bit easier for the batsman. Oh, he's just struck there in the midriff. Will hurt. Yeah, just straight on the solar plexus is what I thought it was.
I think this has hit him right in the bottom of the rib cage. Real reaction from someone who's a very tough man. Just have a look here. Oh, might just have been winded. Not express pace by any stretch. But that has caused him more than a bit of concern.
When you get struck there for a moment or two, you just cannot breathe. You just get stifled, and you're gasping. And lucky, nice to see he's back on his feet. And he's normal, tough guys, these tough as nails, as they say. I just get the feeling, Andrew, that when I looked at the pitch report, it was really dry. And instantly I knew that it would be a good toss to win and decide to field. This is the first time I've ever said that the team winning the toss did the correct thing by fielding first, because with the dew on and the roller in the there it is, just see how much dew there is on the ground. So that's going to help the ball coming onto the bat, 1, and 2, makes the ball really soapy, so the spinners just cannot grip that ball.
Yeah, and we've seen it with the way in which Bhandari's off breaks have just skidded on, and as a consequence made it really easy for the Lions. That equation's very much in their favour. They have a lot of batting to come. Dilip Nath, another left-hander, JJ Smits, Ruben Trumpelman, both very powerful. Sharmala's capable too. He's hit him again here. Throw. Ooh, honestly, he's been hit 3 times in 2 balls. One in the stomach, one in the shoulder, and to add insult to injury, one in the backside. And Darcy Short, he's not happy.
He should get a couple of runs for that. Bonus runs for that. 3 times in 2 deliveries. Well, really tough. Sandeep Lamachani, never short of words. Just take a look at that. That was the one, and then this one from the wicket keeper. Straight where the sun don't shine.
Short wasn't really running his run, so the keeper is absolutely entitled to throw it. No problem at all with what Sahil Patel was doing. Just the throw was off the mark, wasn't it? Clattered into the backside of Darcy Short, who's going to be left battered and bruised, but all part of the game.
That's the skipper there, second from the right of your screen. You're just seeing the lighter side of things. It must be a happy man. Lumbini Lions are doing well, but trust me, the game ain't over yet.
No ball, hammered. I tell you, it's trending in one direction though. That of the Lumbini Lions. Poor delivery. You cannot overstep the crease at Joshi's pace. 7 runs, no ball, free hit to come.
Really, really big no ball, 6, and a free hit signaled by umpire Vimla Siri. He's got the opportunity now to make it really big over. If he can get a 6 of this, it'll be really good. But how good was this? 3rd time, lucky for him. He's got the ball on the middle of the bat and just helped it on its way. It's good batting this. First time in the tournament, Darcy Short.
Here comes the free hit. I suspect this is going to go out the ground too.
Absolutely too easy. Tried taking the pace off, but Darcy Short has just hammered it into the press box. Let's hope there's no damage done up there. 13 runs from one delivery, thanks to Darcy Short.
Well, it was in the slot, but he still had to put it away. Slow delivery there, and bang, he really absolutely teed off on that. Really good swing through the ball. Bat speed was good. The head was nice and firm, and the ball traveled the distance. 46 now for Darcy Short.
I think he's going to go again here. I think he's going to try bring up the 50 in style. Oh, good little Yorker. Wants the second as Dikwella wants to strike, but Munsey fields well. 12 bowled, the Lions in complete control. 98 for 3. Well, who would have thought this? A big turn up for the Bucks. The Kings, they've been in control all season, but it's the Lions that are roaring into playoff contention. They've done all the hard lifting, they've done the heavy work. All they need to do now is hold their nerve and maybe hold it through a little bit of a barrage of pace from Marchant de Lange. I don't think Darcy Short or Dikwella will mind that at all. Unless something changes rapidly, this game could end in a hurry, Faz.
Well, yes, we've been constantly saying throughout the tournament that pace off the ball is the way to go, and Pratish and Narayan Joshi giving a lot of pace to play with for the batsmen. Can the experience of Marchant de Lange come straight down the ground? That'll be a boundary as well. It's all getting very easy. It's going from the ridiculous to the sublime. What an innings this by Darcy Short. When it mattered the most, he's put his hand up there. 50 for him of just 39, taking Lumbini Lions. They're on the brink of a very, very famous win.
Yeah, it was always going to be a matter of time before Darcy Short stood up to be counted for the Lions. Best of the season, just 22 remarkably before tonight, but in his 6th innings, in a crucial chase, a game they pretty much have to win to stay alive. And he's raised his bat in a big way, and he said, thank you very much. 4 more, party time for the Lions. This game, it's ending in a hurry.
But that for me is the best shot of the evening. The bowler of Marchant de Lange's pace treated with absolute disdain. He just stood there and dispatched it from his presence. Take a look at this. It's coming really quick. There's dew on the pitch. It's skidded on really nicely. But how good off that back foot was Darcy Short. Absolutely stunning shot from a very stunning player.
Not a lot wrong with the delivery, really. Hard length, going up around the top of off. Just quality batting. Now, this has hit the stumps and the bail hasn't come off. I promise you. This has hit the stumps. And Darcy Short agrees with me. I promise you now, I'm almost certain of it, this has hit the leg stump. And I think you're going to see it clearly in the replay here. Off cutter, skillful bowling. There it is, smashes leg stump. Somehow the bail doesn't come off.
Well, I'm sure there's something there stuck between the stumps and the bail. That's the second time that's happened this evening.
Good diving stop. Remarkable, absolutely remarkable. There was a clear clatter off the leg stump, and somehow the bail does not come out of its groove.
Well, that's the second time it's hit the stumps. This time to the leg stump of the left-hander, and it was the leg stump of the right-hander a little earlier on in the day.
The incredible thing is, Marchant de Lange didn't realise it, but Darcy Short kept saying, it's hit the stumps, it's hit the leg stump. Good adjustment from Dikwela. He was looking to go up and over the leg side. Checks his stroke.
Well, it's so important, isn't it, for Darcy Short and a player of his caliber and stature to come good when it matters the most in this business end of the tournament. We saw throughout the entire IPL, Mitchell Starc had a really horrible IPL, but it was in that final that he delivered 2 sucker blows and won the IPL for KKR. 56 is highest, Darcy Short.
Oh dear, no ball. Another free hit incoming. No point in trying to catch it. And Dikwela will have the chance to smash this one to the stands. The wheels are coming off here for the Biratnagar Kings.
Well, certainly you can make out that the dew is playing a very important part in this bowling effort by Martian de Lange. That's the second time that the ball has slipped. Earlier it was a little below waist level, and this one was clearly above. No ball, free hit, says umpire Prageet Rambakwela. Just take a look at that. Yep, it was heading way above the waist.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt no ball the right call, but there's also no intent. No intent at all from de Lange. He's looking for the Yorker, just misses it by a couple of inches really, and it's just a release point. The Lions, what can they do with the free hit now? Dikwela. Big swing and a miss, clever piece of bowling. They will get a bye. But this chase is being killed in the middle overs thanks to a great partnership. It's worth 45 off 25. It's a Nelson, 1-1-1 for 3.
Left and right, please. Control the first line. All of you move your mobile left and right. Yeah, that's the way. Please, all of you.
Well, an unforgettable night in Kirtipur, just in the outskirts of Kathmandu. We're here at this famous spiritual home of the game in Nepal, the Tribhuvan University International Cricket Ground. And I think play's just going to hold for a second as every fan raises their smartphone torch to paint a beautiful picture. Okay, last roll of the dice. Lamachani's got 2 left. Slides into the pad, I think. As he speared in the medium pacer, really. Would the... Might have come off the glove, given his runs. Would the Lions be best served just to really make sure that they see out these 2 overs? It's the Omodo and JQ's new JQ J5. You see it up there? The real SUV. Short, hit away, fielder there, straight to him and taken. And we just said it, see Lamachani off, the game is done. Just opens the smallest of windows back for the Kings.
Well, just making the match a little interesting now is Darcy Short. Lamachane has the penchant for picking up wickets. He has the ability to pick up wickets, man. It matters just the toe of the bat. And straight to the man, Lokesh Bam. Really good wicket this for Sandeep Lamachane and for the Kings. Gone after playing a very good innings, Darcy Short of 57. The Lions now 112 for 4 in the 14th.
It's another left-hander. They have a litany of them, don't they, in this 11 as Dilip Nath comes to the crease.
Obviously, the Lions should still canter home, 33 to win off 40, but probably wasn't Lamachani's greatest delivery. And Darcy Short couldn't resist from going after it. Good catch held in the deep. Credit to Lokesh Bam as Lamachani ascends to the top of the wicket-taker charts. Nicely bowled. And that does enough to tuck it away. Really strange choice of shot from Darcy Short, who played so well.
Well, it was there to be hit, but he just couldn't get the timing, got the toe of the bat. And that's the fat side of the ground. 65-meter hit there, 61 to the other side. So perhaps the wrong choice of shots really for Darcy Short. Just needed to play him out. 32 of 39. But now everything depends on Dikwela.
Slow, tempting, teasing from Lamachani. And just before that wicket, I was talking about the Omada and JQ's new J5. There it is. A good old spin around the city in that today. We're all over Kathmandu this morning. This is the real SUV. There's always going to be the googly. But more responsibility from Nath, just working it for the single. It's all they need.
Well, that's exactly what Darcy Short should have done. Just played it along the ground, played out Lamachani, 6 balls, 6 runs, and said thank you very much. We'll handle the bowler at the other end. It's still not all over for the Lions. Dikwela out there in the middle. Until he's there, they'll be breathing very easy in the dugout.
Oh, so nearly. Just thought it has to be this ball. I think this has come off the under edge. So close for Lamachani. It's 115 for 4. Well, there is the Presidential Graduate School Platinum Cap Leaderboard. The top 5, Rohit Paudel, despite the duck tonight, still in that top 5. Adam Rossington, top of the charts with that historic 3rd century yesterday. Now, it's not often I'm speechless on air. Very rare I'm lost for words, as you know, Fazil. I have no words to describe what we're about to see here. George Munsey will have a bowl. He's kept wicket more than he's bowled in his professional career across 70 ODIs, 81 T20s, 94 List A games, 4 first-class matches and 104 T20s. He has never bowled a ball in anger. He will have now. Quick look at the last ball from the previous over. Dikwela so nearly perished to Lamachani.
Got the inside edge of the bat and very nearly dragged it on. We've seen the ball hit the stumps without the bails falling a couple of times in the game, and now just missing it by that proverbial coat of varnish.
Going to take on the second. If that was picked up cleanly, it might have been interesting. You talk about matchups in the modern game. You've got Bashir Ahmed there as a proper left-arm spinner. George Munsey has literally never bowled in a 12-year professional career. I understand they don't want to bowl the left-arm spinner to the left-hand batters, but we've seen the favour that his pitch is offered to spin. Swept away for 4. Good batting. George Munsey thought he might have had a first ever wicket.
Well, he almost made you eat that humble pie, Andrew. It was off the stumps. He just swept it, took his chance there. Did Dikwela. Oh, geez, if Munzi had it. Oh, he gets the 4. So they move 4 runs closer now. 23 of 33.
Run out chance, or would have been close. Where exactly is Dikwela going? They need 23 to win. He's like a cat on a hot tin roof.
On a very cold evening here in Kathmandu, a cat on a hot tin roof. A brain fade moment for Dikwela. Just getting a little tentative after Darcy's shot departs. And just take that single and give Nath the strike.
I can promise you how closely I follow the associate game. Just one more look at this as to how close it would have been. Would I like the side on? Oh, it would have been gone. Gone for all money. Sahil misses the stumps. I did not have George Munsey bowling on my NPL bingo card, I'll promise you. And his first over is gone for 9. Perplexing stuff. It's 124 for 4. The Lions will want to believe they have this in the bag. 21 and 36 wickets in hand. Dikwela batting in a well-made 23. And look at the comparison. 7 to 15 has been good for the Lions in the chase. Swept, reverse, and they'll run away for a 4. Good start to over number 16. The chase is within grasp, and Nath as well joins Dikwela in finding the ropes. Very good evening, HT Ackerman.
Now, I know Dilip Nath has hit that reverse sweep, but you can't help thinking that Nirishant Dikwela has added something to this Lumbini Lions team. Just in the middle here, he's been exceptional.
Indeed, in the last game where he got 30 odd, he took the pressure of Rohit Paudel, infused fresh life into this entire batting ranks of the Lumbini Lions. HT spot on there with that observation. This is what I want Dilip Nath to be doing more often. You've got a boundary, get a single, get to the other end, close this chase convincingly.
In the dismissal of Rohit Paudel, there would have been some nervous people, nervous supporters of the Lumbini Lions, but it's the Australian and the Sri Lankan that have come to the party tonight. But you're right, you want to win this with a couple of overs to spare. Really send a message, and this will do their confidence the world of good. Bear in mind, these were the wooden spooners from last year, the Lions.
Where did that pitch? Yeah, and at the moment as well, they were playing catch-up in this competition. They were the whipping boys, the Lumbini Lions, but they're making that steady climb. Maybe some glove. Nice, hit that really hard. Nicely struck, straight to the fielder at long off. Got to believe they are in the driver's seat at the moment. Who wouldn't mind being on this bike as well? The next gen Pulsar Power, explosive, fast and unstoppable. Yeah, there it is. Grand side, good ride.
Neatly played. Well, Lamachani's been impressive. He's 2 for 20. He's got one more delivery remaining of his overs. He almost almost felt that it was him that was going to have to win the game for the Kings this evening with a total of around 145. Or the target of 145, I should say. He was the one man that could win it for them.
It's been a good over for the Lions. He's coming off it. They need 13 and 24, 1-3-2 for 4. Some big games lined up this week. Avengers came back extremely well in that last game of theirs, getting 200 plus with the bat, and they bowled out the opposition as well. They'll take on the Kathmandu Gorkhas, who just made winning a habit, and then the table toppers, the first team to qualify against the Chitwan Rhinos, who desperately need a win to stay alive in this competition. All of it coming to you live from the Tribhuvan University International Cricket Stadium. Terrific Thursday, should I say. Quite sure what's the plan here. You're going with pace on both sides. You had Muncy bowling one.
Well, I think they just feel that they need wickets now, and that their best option for wickets was Lamachani. Obviously, he got a couple, but he's 4 done, and now Delanga as well. I think there's a few concerns here for the Kings going forward, though, and that I like their batting lineup, but they short a bowler. There's a couple of spinners that haven't been used, or part-time spinners that haven't been used here this evening. But when you start seeing George Muncy, and with the greatest of respect to George Muncy, he's a wonderful batter, but he hasn't bowled for something like 13 years. And when he's been brought on to bowl, then you know that if you look at your starting 11, you're short a bowler.
Yeah, not a great sign or a sight if Muncy comes on to bowl. He's never bowled his life in professional cricket. Oh, that may have hit the helmet. Maybe a concussion test quickly. You see the physio coming out for this. Just hurried him for pace here.
It's standard protocol. You know, even though he says he's fine, doctor has to come out. They have to do the checks. These are mandatory now. Remember, there can be late onset concussion as well. So while you may feel, I mean, that's a nasty blow, you may feel okay, he will have to be monitored tonight as well. The doctor will check up on him over the course of the evening to see that everything is okay. And that's to protect the players from what they call late onset concussion.
Yeah, two left-handed batters in the middle. What a sight here. Faf du Plessis, Marchand de Lang played together for South Africa. You must have seen them closely, HD.
Played a little bit against Faf du Plessis, to be honest, but thankfully not Marchand de Lang.
He can really get that ball to climb and really hurry the batters, like the last delivery to Dilip Nath. Yeah, what's it with matchups, HD? At some point in time, you have to play the spinners you have in the side. Why do captains these days have a very, very defensive approach there?
What do they call it? Analysis paralysis. And sometimes you can over-analyze things now. We know that all around the world now, you have an analyst who sits down and says, this is an ideal matchup, that's an ideal matchup. But sometimes you've just got to back your frontline bowler. I mean, imagine Muralitharan not being allowed to bowl to a right-hander. This will fall safely. They should get a couple. I mean, if Muralitharan wasn't allowed to bowl to right-handers, I'd still have a career.
So would many. Yeah, but a good point. Very good point over there. I just wonder, why do team managements, the think tanks these days, just hold the players back when a left-handed batter is in the middle? We've seen not just in this game, but quite a few games in the MPL where left-arm spinners have not been allowed to bowl to the left-handed batters. And somehow managing to get rid of the ball there. is getting easier for the Lumbini Lions. 6 coming off it, 138 for 4. Yeah, the boys in red are displaying red hot form in the middle, and that's why those flags as well everywhere. Festive atmosphere, but that's how it always is. There it is, happy, relieved, and a confident dugout, a comeback to winning ways, and finally we see some spin, left arm spin to the left-handed batter. HD,
no option now, has to happen. Nice to see Darcy Short get some runs here. I almost want each overseas player to put up a performance, because it just makes them feel as though their selection to come and play here in the NPL is warranted. You don't want someone to get on an aeroplane and to have had a bad tournament. You know, Ruben Trumpelman has certainly offered with the ball, and now Darcy Short, even though he's got a couple of starts, he's shown what he can do.
good strike, up and over, and that runs away for a 4. The Lions need 2 runs, and this partnership has done well. And for the first time, you feel the Lions are looking good with their all-round ability in the middle.
The best thing about this run chase is it hasn't been frantic. It's been controlled. We've had some aggression, but they've been smart in this run chase.
That's a lovely strike, and that's been pouched just at the edge of the ropes. He's led with a perfect jump to take a very fine catch that'll end Dilip Nath stay in the middle. A bit of an anticlimax here. Another one bites the dust for the Lions.
Good catch. Good catch. He had to time his jump perfectly. Sam Heazlett in the deep here. We've seen a number of those that have been palmed over the boundary. But Heazlett's pouched it. Nice little innings this from Dilip Nath. 16 from just the 12. He took them to the brink. 143 for 5.
Yeah, he's had a good day with the ball. Quite the MVP today. Lions need 2 runs. And how well have they come back into this competition? Another left-handed batter. Yeah, Malla goes hard at it. And that'll bring Dickwell on strike.
And I think it's fitting that Niroshan Dickwella will be the man that has the opportunity to get them over the line, because he's definitely added something, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, to the side. He's a popular figure. He gives them lots of energy in the field and belief, and he brings it out with bat in hand as well.
There it is. He knows it, Dickwella, the way he's celebrating as well. He's quite a character, but this is a great sign for the Lumbini Lions. A convincing 5-wicket win with quite a few balls to spare. They've come back into the competition in some style. There is hopes for a top 4 finish, and they've been clinical tonight.
I love this. He knows. He knows. It's not outstumped, I'm afraid. The wide takes them over the line. That's the end of the game. Niroshan Dickwella, 29 from 22, along with Darcy Short, ensured that this was a canter. And it's time to celebrate, because that's 3 wins now for the Lions.
They're coming together just the right time. Rohit Paudel missed out with the bat, but he'll be a relieved man to see his boys apply the finishing touches and secure 2 crucial points. Never easy to come back in a tournament when you lose games very early in the competition, but he has come and added a new dimension to this Lumbini Lions. Niroshan Dekwela behind the stumps, in front of it. He's been a breath of fresh air, and courtesy some very fine inclusion, smart captaincy, good bowling. They have the better of a side that has really looked the part, the Biratnagar Kings. They succumb to their second defeat in the competition, but they're still in safe waters.
Yeah, very good win. Very fine win. We know that the Kings will be in the shake-up come the end of the competition, particularly with players like that in their side, but they might need to address one area of their game, and that is the bowling attack. They could be just short one frontline bowler. Yeah, they got a little bit of bits and pieces here and there. Sandeep Lamachani he's a match winner, but he can't bowl all 20 overs. Marchant Langa, he adds value with ball in hand, but where are they getting these other overs from? That's the question that needs to be answered.
But the high point for the Lumbini Lions is Darcy Short striking form in the back end of the tournament. A fluent 57 set up the chase. And Rohit Paudel will be a happy man, because now his players from top to down are just showing the right metal and muscle. Niroshan Dekwela unbeaten on 29, but it was Darcy Short's innings early on that put them on the chase. Rohit Paudel missed out. Sandeep Johra opened the innings to begin with. Then he came at number 6, 7, then at number 4. In a crucial chase towards the back end of the innings for the Lumbini Lions. 1 wicket for Bashir Ahmed, but it all came too late, and by then the Lions had that 1 foot across the finishing line as well.
Mahajan was asked to open the batting with Darcy Short. He was given a working over by Marchant Langa, and then he was eventually dismissed, looking for a big one. The big surprise was Rohit Paudel. Good catch from Faf du Plessis, backpedaling, and Paudel was gone for naught, and you thought, oh, hang on, what's going to happen here to the Lions? But the Western Australian, who's been looking for some runs, found them. And you've got an able supporter with Sandeep Johra before he was adjudged LBW, and then the little Energizer Bunny joined Darcy Short.
Yeah, it was Darcy Short and Niroshan Dekwela who continued with the short. Darcy Short got to his first NPL 50, got back into form, but then found the fielder in the deep to a delivery that sat up. Good catch by Lokesh Baum. Niroshan Dekwela ensured that he went ahead with his full flow